Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Saturday Nights. We are back from our little hiatus and ready to continue our adventure here of our 5th edition D&D. Fun. We have a couple of things that I'd like to announce and plug a bit before we get started. Upcoming in this the week moving forward, we've got a bunch of streams for you to enjoy. On Monday, we will have our next episode of Motley Mondays, which Savannah's going to be running a one-shot for us. Also playing D&D in that game. On Tuesday, we'll have our next episode of Match-A-Pony, where Savannah and I are currently playing Divinity Original Sin 2. And that's around, I forgot to say the time. Motley Mondays is at 8 o'clock Eastern time ish, 7 to 8, sometime around there. I don't remember what time we started last time. On Tuesday, Match-A-Pony is going to be at, usually start around 6 o'clock Eastern time. Wednesday will be Lindsay, where Lindsay is currently playing. What are you playing right now? Bioshock? Is that the
Bioshock Linfinite.
Bioshock Linfinite. So I think you've been starting that around 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, it's
time?
like 8:30 Eastern.
8:30 Eastern time. Okay. And on Thursday this week, I think it'll be a craft night. I guess Morgan will have to confirm that, but that's the plan on the schedule. I don't know what she's making right now, but I guess tune in to find out. And then we'll be back next Saturday for Saturday Nights. We also had another episode of our podcast go up, Cyberscape. That's up on iTunes and CastBox. You can find links to those on, if you scroll down, go to our website, ggk.smvi.co. You can follow the links there, download those podcasts, listen to them, let us know what you think. We're about 13 episodes in. They're shorter than our typical streams, usually run about an hour or so. So we're playing Dungeon World, having a lot of fun. So you should listen to it and let us know what you think. I think I ripped through those. Anything else that I missed as far as announcements or anything coming up? Anybody wants to play? I guess tomorrow, Savannah will be continuing her show or run on Encounter Roleplay, where they are currently playing Apocalypse World. Called a game called Apocalypse When. It's time traveling and mysteries and Bon Jovi concerts, and it's been a lot of fun.
In the last episode, they kidnapped Richie Sambora, so
yeah,
you're not gonna want to miss this one.
Yeah, the thrilling conclusion of that cluster. So it'll be that'll be tomorrow at 5 o'clock, right?
Yes, 5 o'clock Eastern time.
Over on Kind of Roleplay. So come and join us in supporting her. Okay, I think that's it as far as announcements go. Well, if you have any questions or you need anything, look at our schedule. It's below on our Twitch page here, and follow us on. Let's see, music went out. I'm gonna start again. Follow us on Twitter for announcements on what's coming up. Can you guys hear the music now? Okay. I don't know. I guess I'll just keep starting and stopping it every so often. Just let me know if it goes out again. So let's jump back in with a recap. What happened last time on Saturday nights. So our adventurers, our heroes, had just defeated the Umbra Hawkers at their hideout, the Black Perch. With the help of a couple new allies, a drow young man by the name of Matthias Loop, and a hill giant by the name of Krog. Krog took the Black Perch, this fort, for his home, while you all headed back to Glassnock to collect your rewards. You reaped the bounty of the loot that you had gathered or stolen, I guess, reclaimed from the Umber Hawkers, including a lot of gold and some other valuable items, and the handle of a great axe which you learn to be magical, and seem to be giving you or pulling you in the direction of another quest. The people of Glassknock thanked you for your service and treated you as heroes for the evening. And the following day, following the images that this magical great axe, this with this like dragon bone handle of this great axe was giving Chad, you left, entering the timber once again, en route to wherever the other half of this item might be. You stopped back by the Black Perch to check in on Krog. I think Mel wanted to claim some more black powder for herself. You attempted to beguile the hill giant to claim some of the black powder, unsuccessfully. He seemed to get a little bit agitated and was a little bit upset with you after learning of your treachery, and kicked you out of his new home. And I guess not wanting to fight the hill giant, you left. Upon traveling further into the timber the following day, you came to a point in the road, following the direction that Chad has been giving you, where an elven woman stopped you, attempted to try to get you to turn around and leave, not traveling any further into the timber. And upon a short conversation, with Jules sort of riling her up a bit, when it seemed that conflict was going to break out, you heard the whistling of 3 arrows cutting through the tree line and raining down on your group. So we're going to pick up right there, and I'm going to have you all roll for initiative.
All right, Lindsay, let's see how these dice do.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's all right. That's a 12. It's above average.
Okay, they're warming up.
Yep.
Okay, it's Matthias. It's 15. And also with an 11. Okay. You know what? I have you guys on the wrong. I'm sorry. I need to move you guys to the battle map, don't I?
Oh, thanks.
Not bad.
That 20 was for Hilda.
Okay. So does everybody have their initiative correct on the board now?
Getting there. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Geez, a lot of 11s. Let's sort that out real quick. Jules, what's your... I think you don't have a high dexterity. What's your dexterity?
9.
9, okay.
Bad.
And Mel, what's yours?
14 for a +2.
Okay, so they're going to go before you two. All right. That's the order. But before we get into the order, there's some surprise attacks coming down from all of you as 3 archers hiding in the trees on either side of the road reveal themselves, each firing an arrow down towards one of you. It's going to be an attack on Chad, Jules. See about anybody else who's involved in the conversation. We'll go with Mel, since those are the 3 of you here, right?
Rude. I did nothing this time. I literally, the only time.
You just look grouchy, and that's why they attacked you.
That's fair. That's actually super.
Well, they're big old liars, so.
That's true. Okay, so against Chad, that is an 11. That's going to miss. Against Jules, that's a 21.
That hits me.
And against Mel, it's a 25.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 6 points of piercing damage. Let's see. Oh, and it has additional damage on that top of that too, because it's a surprise attack.
Oh, good.
Another 6 points of piercing damage. And then the one against you, Mel.
Oh, I was marking those. My bad.
Oh, sorry. Who did I say that? Did I say Mel or did I say Jules for that first one?
I just assumed it was me because I got hit first, but
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I'm
that first
foolish.
one's for Jules.
Yep.
So 5 points for the initial hit strike, and then for the sneak attack, another 8 on top of that, so 13 total. And that's going to end their surprise round against you. So it's going to be Hilda at the top of the round. And they've all revealed themselves. You see where the arrows come from. You can see them perched up. The 3 of them perched up in the trees, 1 of them on the ground.
Oh, golly. Okay, she's gonna probably cast a spell of some kind. Let me look at what she can do. I really hoped she wasn't gonna go first, but here we are.
We can, if you want to, I can skip to do Matthias's turn. Matthias and Chad go before they do, so we can...
Sure. Yeah, do Matthias first, then come back to me.
Okay, Matthias is going to be easy, so I think he's going to hop out of the wagon over to here. He sees the elf hiding in the trees to the right side of the wagon, and he's going to send a couple of Eldritch Blasts in their direction. First one is going to be 26 to hit. And a 14, which will miss. It's going to be 12 points of force damage for the first one. And then, Mel, you took a little bit of seeing the arrows hitting a few people, he's going to use his bonus action to do a healing light at you, Mel. He's going to spend 2.
Maybe he's not so bad.
That'll be 2d6 healing towards you. 7 points of healing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then he's going to kind of duck over here, try to get a little bit of cover from the rock there. Okay, that's Matthias's turn. Chad, why don't you go, and then we'll go back to Hilda.
Sure. Am I able to reach the elves in the trees with my pike with its reach?
How far is the reach on? Is it 10 feet?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say you'd be able to hit them with the pike then.
Yeah. So Chad is going to hop off and run over to this one over here, drawing his pike, and go attempt to do a stabby stab.
Okay. Good attack.
That is a 12 to hit.
12 will not hit.
Okay. Well, gonna do second attack.
Okay.
Or hold on, let me remember what my maneuvers are again. I'm gonna attempt to do a precision attack.
Okay, on the second one.
Does a 13 hit? Or well,
You're adding it to the first
yes.
one. Okay. 13 will not hit, no.
Yeah. Okay. So gonna try and just stab again. Well, that's the same thing. Gonna try and do another precision strike.
Okay.
Chad is not doing well to start off. Does a 14 hit? Those are some garbage superiority dice.
14 does not hit, just misses.
Okay. Well, gonna action surge just
Okay.
because.
Oh no.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
Let me get my D8s.
Cat is like doing the broom thing with like a cat, like, get down here, get!
Actually, hold on. I may only be able to do one object.
One object per.
Yeah, it says use an action to pull the fuzzy object, so I guess this will just be just one critter for now.
Okay.
Come on, friend. Just a weasel.
Weasel.
Weasel's back.
What a friend!
I'm just gonna put a weasel right here for you.
Bonus action, tell it to attack my foes.
Okay. All right. Roll, or we'll have the weasel go on. Well, we'll go ahead and have the weasel. We'll just have it do its turn now.
Yeah.
And then
Can it use its speed to climb up this tree after this elf?
let's see. It doesn't have a climbing speed, but it does have a speed of 30 feet. So I'd say at half movement, yeah, it could make it up the tree.
Yep. So it's gonna attempt to do a bite.
Okay.
A 17 to hit
That'll hit.
for 1 point of damage because it does 1d1 piercing.
Yep. So it just sort of bites onto her boot, just kind of like biting, like gnawing on the leather.
What a
The
good
elf
weasel.
does not seem too worried about the weasel right now, but it is there. Okay. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hilda,
Hilda.
in the past or now, she is going to attempt to cast Hold Person on the apparent leader or face of the group, the one that Jules is probably going to go stab. So she's
Okay.
going to attempt to Hold Person. So that's a DC of number 14.
14. Okay. And I think it's a wisdom save.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Oh, she like unclips one of the bells and like chimes it in a figure 8 sort of a motion.
That is a 5. So that is going to fail. That elf, as they begin to draw a short sword from their hip, and looks like they're moving towards Jules, suddenly kind of freezes in place and has this sort of panicked look in their eyes. This is their eyes are the only thing that are moving at this point. They're just frozen there.
And
Awesome.
bonus action, she's going to inspire Jules and say, "She's all yours."
Okay, and I think that's a
Six.
D6 inspiration dice. Yeah, D6 inspiration. Okay, so the 3 elves are going to take their turn. So the one that is frozen, I'm just going to go ahead and say it's the end of their turn. I'm going to have them make another save. After at the end of it, that's a 12. They fail, so still held. The other 3. So the one that is in the tree is currently in melee. They are going to
Jump out, I dare you.
I think that's what they're going to do, actually. Seeing you kind of... I don't think they're too intimidated by Chad right now, which they'll probably change soon. But right now, they are not. And so they drop out of the tree. You have baited them down.
The weasel takes its reaction to bite.
Yeah, sure. Weasel can make an opportunity.
That's a 19. One
That-
more point of piercing
That'll
damage.
hit. Jeez, the weasel's doing very well.
I love
And
this
now-
weasel.
And I assume they are going to leave my range or try to. Or
No, they're staying with you. They're drawing their
Okay.
short sword, and they're going to make an attack against you, or 2 attacks against you with their short sword. So that'll be what am I doing? That's natural 20
That's gonna hit.
for 9 piercing
Okay,
and 16
that meets.
for 9 piercing. Crits, gotta love them. Okay, that'll end that one's turn. The other 2, the one that is in the tree where that Matthias shot at, is going to make 3 ranged attacks. We're going to do one at Hilda, because Hilda cast the spell, and I think they can put 2 and 2 together there. So that'll be a natural 20
No.
for 16 points of piercing damage.
Okay, she's got to make a con save, right?
Yes, she
Oh,
does.
golly, that hurt her a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to Hilda.
That's a big yikes. Okay, come on, Hilda. You got this. Does she have a feat? Does she have the Warcaster at all? I need to know. No? Okay.
I don't think she does.
You got this. You got this. You got this. You got this. That's a natural 20!
Nice. Okay, so she maintains concentration. Another attack against Mel. It's a 23 for 5 piercing.
What did I do to deserve this?
Um,
I was quiet for once in my life.
They're also going to make an attack against against Matthias, but he's got half cover there. I think with an 18 though, that is just going to hit because he has not cast mage armor. So, like a big old dum dum. Okay, that's gonna hit him for 5 piercing. All right. Why wasn't he at full health? He should have been. Okay. The other elf that nobody has attacked yet takes a handful of arrows from their quiver, kind of arcs them up towards the sky, and is going to use their action to do a volley, which means they can make one attack roll at each enemy within 10 feet of a point they can see, which I think they'll be able to make one against all 4 of you. So we will do Matthias. That will just hit. Jules, 13, I think, misses. Mel, 14. I think
14 misses.
14 misses. And then Hilda, 11.
Which also misses.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they only hit with 1 of those 4 shots. That's another 9 to Matthias. Not bad. Well, bad for them, not bad for you guys as far as avoiding stuff. Perfect. That will end their turns. Back to Mel. Or Mel.
All right. Mel is very upset. She did nothing wrong. She is going to stand up and just and then she's going to jump off of the cart, go right next to Jules. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I should have measured first. She's probably going to go right next to Jules. Let's see. Almost right next to Jules. Like there-ish, here-ish, adjacent. And she's going to attempt to lightning lure the paralyzed one, which is a strength save, which she automatically fails because she's paralyzed.
She does, yes. And
so she's yoinked 15 feet towards me.
I think that puts her right next to you.
I was trying to put her next to Jules. I just don't know if I was close enough. Like, would over here work? Is that okay? I just want to make it even easier for Jules to eviscerate her.
I can
That's my goal.
Yeah, you could get her right here.
That's
with
fair.
15 feet.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
She takes 7 lightning damage. And as a bonus action, I whistle at Theory, who forms himself into a paper airplane and zooms over to Chad. And gives him a little kiss on the cheek with his over-exaggerated, like, cartoon lips. And then Chad has inspiration. You have advantage 5 times for the next hour. You have to choose it before or after you roll. Yep. Oh, ability checks. Never mind. You have resilience.
Okay. Yeah. So you. Okay. So you can take advantage on an ability check 5 times in the next hour.
Yeah. Or would you prefer to fly 10 feet? No, it's too late. I already said.
Okay. You
gain 8 temporary hit points because the inspiration was ability checks, and I'm not about that life. Okay, that's what he do.
So he gets. You're giving him the hit points instead of the inspiration.
Yeah, because inspiration was ability checks. I thought it was advantage on anything. It's not.
Okay,
It's good because that would have been bonkers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what happened, and then Chad just has this little jello on his shoulder that's like, "You got this," but he doesn't talk. He's just cute.
Okay. All right. So Theory's over there. All right. Jules, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast a healing word on Hilda.
Okay.
At 2nd level. So that is... and I get extra from my cleric thing. I don't remember.
You add your level or something to your...
Is 2 plus the spell's level, so that's 11.
Ah, okay.
She heals 15.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, yay!
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I also heal because I have Blessed Healer now. I regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. So
what is that? Is that a life cleric thing?
Yeah, so every time I heal somebody with a spell of 1st level or higher, I also regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level.
Oh, wow, I like you.
I like me too. Okay.
That's your bonus action. What do you do for your action?
I'm going to go hit the lady.
Do it.
You're also inspired, don't forget.
Yes.
Yeah. So advantage on the strike.
Oh, God.
No, it's bardic inspiration. Oh, advantage because of paralyzed. Got you.
Yeah, she's held.
18.
That'll hit, and I think it'll be an auto crit on that.
I don't remember how much damage it was. So...
What was the damage for the lightning lure?
It was 7.
Okay. Got to write that down.
She takes 9 bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Okay.
Bonk.
And does she make another save every time she takes damage? Or is it just at the end of her turns?
I can click that for sure. Click.
No, just at the end of their turns. God,
Sweet.
old person. Nasty. Okay. Is that it for your turn, Jules?
Yep.
Okay. Back to Hilda at the start of the round then.
I was totally prepared for this. Hilda is like, "Wow, thanks, Jules. You're the best." And then she's gonna viciously mock the paralyzed lady, be like, "What? What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Come on."
Okay. And that's a
Wisdom save, DC
wisdom
14.
save. Okay. That's gonna fail.
Ha, sweet. She takes 3 psychic damage.
Okay. That was 2d4 psychic damage on that? Or was that just 1d4?
That was just 1. I'm gonna roll another one.
Yeah, roll another one for that.
That's another 1 for
Okay.
4 total.
4, and she has disadvantage on her next, I guess, attack roll if she gets one before.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, before she is eviscerated. Yes.
Okay.
And then I'm not going to do anything with my bonus action as Hilda. Hilda's just going to kind of sit back down in the cart, just like maybe get herself some half cover at least.
Some half cover? Okay, that's good. She can definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, I'll say if she wants to go, like, if she wants to like go prone in the cart, then they'll have disadvantage.
Yeah,
on
she's just
attack
going
there.
to, "What's up?" Drop.
Okay. Matthias's turn then. He is going to step around to fire at the same one he was firing at before. That'll be 2 Eldritch Blasts. It's a natural 20. And a 10, so that one will miss. That can't be right. That did the +5 twice. So that's 15 plus 7. Okay, so it'll be 22 points of damage to that one. And then everyone's pretty well healed right now, so I think he just kind of ducks back up here. Chad, it is your turn.
All right, starting by having the weasel drop out of the tree onto the elf's head, or the archer's head. That's a natural 20 for 2 points of damage.
Oh my god.
So these dice are working great, is what you're telling me.
For the weasel.
Yeah.
See if they work better for Chad. What does Chad do?
Chad is gonna attempt to stab because I believe even with a reach weapon, I'm not at disadvantage if they're within 5 feet of me.
I don't think so. No, I think
Which
you're...
seems a little odd, but I can also imagine I can figure out how to use a pike to do that. So I'm gonna do a stabby stab. That's much better. That's a 21.
Yep, that'll hit.
Let's see, which one of these is the D10? Here it is. That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Right, 9 points of piercing damage.
And gonna do me another stab.
Okay.
Oh, that's even better. That's 24 to hit
Yeah, that'll hit.
for 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. All right.
And I think I will go ahead and use, let's see, second wind is bonus action. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use that because why not?
Okay.
I need to stop having roll 20 roll these abilities because they're rolling terribly.
Come on, I just got you a full set.
Yes. Okay. That is Chad's turn.
Okay. Put it back to the archer's turns. So the... All right. The one that is paralyzed, I'm going to say it's the end of their turn. They're going to make a wisdom saving throw. That's a fail to the 6. The one with Chad is going to make 2 melee attacks against you. It's a 22 and a 21.
Both hit.
It's going to be 8 plus 8, 16 points of piercing damage total.
Okay, well, the temp HP are gone, and I'm now 1 above where I was at before the action surge.
Nice. And then 2 more in the trees. I think one is going to take... Okay, they're going to take 2 shots at Matthias. The one off to the right here. He's still got half cover where he's at. So it'll be natural 1. It's a 22 to hit for 8 points of piercing damage to him. Ow. And then I think they're going to do 1 shot, seeing you guys that are currently ganging up on the held leader over there. She's going to do 1 shot over the rocks here at Jules. It's a 16 to hit. So it just clanks off your armor. You feel it ping your armor, but it doesn't really do much. The other one is going to shoot 1 at Hilda at disadvantage. Trying to get her in the wagon there. It's a 21 to hit with disadvantage, so I think that's still going to hit.
Oh, what a good shot.
Yeah, it's a very good shot. And I'd give her some cover too, but I think that's still going to...
Yeah, her AC is only 14.
Yeah, so that'll be 7 points of piercing damage and a con save.
And a con save. Come on, you can do it. One more time. Come on. Just gotta be a 10, right? Ooh, 12!
Yeah, okay, so she's good then. It's going to take 2 more shots, 1 at Jules and 1 at Mel.
Ouch.
Jules, that'll be a 25 to hit.
Oh, let me check. Yes.
For 8 points of piercing damage. And then Mel, that'll be a 9, so that'll miss you. All right, arrows whizzing through the air. I think they've all taken their turns. Mel, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, I am... Okay, Jules has got this. She's totally got this. I'm gonna just be like, you got this. I'm just gonna leave. Because she can't stab me anyway. And I'm just gonna look.
Bye.
I don't think I can see Hilda from here. So, well, she already has disadvantage because she's got full. I was gonna give her Sanctuary, but that would just give a disadvantage on disadvantage. So never mind. I won't do that. I'm going to grab the arrow that just bounced off of Jules' armor. And I'm going to look at the one that's been shooting Matthias and go, stop that! And I'm going to cast Catapult and launch the arrow back at them.
Back at the one that's shooting at Matthias?
Yeah, it's a DC 16 save of a kind. That is Dex.
Okay, dexterity save.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that would do the details. It was the same damage anyway.
Okay. Dexterity save, not proficient. That's a 9. Jeez, they roll really bad on these saving throws.
Excellent.
So 11 points of... So I think what happens is you go to catapult the arrow that's in the ground, and you actually get like a chunk of the dirt, the earth that is with the arrow, just it flies up towards them and it slams into the elf up there. So 11 points damage to them. Nice.
Any chance they also fall down from the tree?
No, I'm gonna say not.
That was a reach. I know.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna look over at Theory and be like, "Get them!" And he's going to spit upon the one that Chad is fighting.
Okay.
Let's see if it hits. Nope, not with a 7.
No. Spits in the elf, ducks out of the way, and it hits the tree, and there's that dissolving. It's acidic, right?
It's acid, yeah.
Yeah. So the tree, like the bark, begins to dissolve away there, but does not hit the elf.
Okay, that's Mel.
Okay. Jules.
Okay. Sorry, I was looking up a spell. Stop that. I'm going to... Gosh. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to... Sacred Flame the lady in front of me.
Which she fails. Roll damage.
Yeah. Gosh, that's 12 radiant damage.
Ooh, nice. 12 points radiant damage as the bolt, the heavenly ray of energy just bakes her in kind of piercing through the cloud cover and the trees above you. Excellent. Anything with your bonus action, or is that it?
Do I wanna? Yeah, I'm going to for my bonus action. I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
By this one over here.
Perfect.
In the tree.
Every week, one of these weeks, I will remember to make a spiritual weapon token for you.
It's fine.
All right. I'll put the weapon token over there. And roll for your attack on that one too.
It's a 15.
Okay, 15. Let's put that right there. 15 will hit. All damage.
10 force damage.
10 points of force damage. Okay. Spiritual weapon appears. What were you doing before with the weapon type? What's it look like?
It was just a big like woodcutter's axe.
Okay, yeah. The big axe swings and clips them in the shoulders. They try to dodge, and they like move to one of the other branches to try to avoid it as it cuts down through the branch that they were standing on, taking a little bit of a blow in the process. Nice.
Cool. I'm gonna stay right here, and then I'm just gonna look at the frozen lady and be like, "So, give up yet?"
They don't respond because they are paralyzed. That'll be Hilda's turn then, back at the top of the round.
Oh boy, how do I keep forgetting I'm running her? Okay. What can else she do? She's very happy laying in this cart. It's a very good cart. She has a concentration too. She's gonna thumbs up.
Okay.
She'll hold her action until
She can't. Okay, what's her action going to be? Because it can't be a spell.
she's gonna hold her action to, I don't know, stab someone if they come near the cart.
Okay, that works too.
I feel like she's fine. She's doing fine. You're doing great. Maintain that concentration, Hilda. You're doing great.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Concentration is very helpful right now. Matthias's turn. I think he's gonna, because he's taking a couple hits now. He's gonna run up here next to you, Jules, and just say,
I just literally just ring around. I go over to him to help him, and he leaves.
I'll be right back. And he's going to use, seeing that he might be able to take advantage of this here, he's going to use his action to catch Vampiric Touch on the lady there, which I think he'll be at advantage because it's a melee attack. Or be an auto crit.
I believe so. All attacks have advantage on a paralyzed target. I think.
Okay.
I looked it up before she cast it.
So it'll be an 18 to hit. So he'll deal double damage. It's 9 plus 8, so that'll be 17 points of necrotic damage. And he regains equal to half the amount of necrotic damage dealt. So he'll regain 8 points. All right. Get some healing for himself. That was 5, 10, 15. And he goes 20, 25, 30 back here to get behind cover.
Oh, wow, you look way better.
And yeah, that's what he's going to do on his turn. Chad, what you going to do?
Oh, Weasel is still chomping. They're doing that thing in the cartoons where they're just running all over the person, nibbling at him. That's not as good. That's a 13.
That'll miss, finally.
So, yeah. Does not manage to get in a chomp this time around, but Chad's going to do some more stabs. Nope, that's an 11.
Yes, that does miss.
Yeah,
that.
I'm debating if I want to do a precision attack.
Okay.
No, because, yeah, so gonna do another stab. That's even worse. Jazz being real ineffectual today. And everyone is doing pretty okay. I think is going to use bonus action to rally Jules to give her some temp HP. So, nope, that's also pretty bad. So you get 5 temp HP.
Thank you.
Every little bit counts.
Yep.
Okay, and that's Chad's turn.
Yep.
All right, yeah, take a couple of stabs, thrust forwards with your pike. Not able to connect with the elven warrior in front of you. All right, paralyzed one is going to see if they can break free of their paralysis. That's a 19 at the end of their turn, so they do finally succeed on their save. And I think as the break, because they were kind of mid drawing their weapon, as it breaks and like taking all this damage at once and feeling all this pain, they kind of stagger a bit, and they look up at you wide-eyed, Jules. Not that's the end of their turn, but they are feeling the hurt right now. The ones in the trees continue to follow their orders, are going to make their attacks. So 2 short sword attacks against you, Chad. It's a 20 and a 17.
Both hit.
Be 10 points total. The one in the tree with the spiritual weapon, it's going to take 3 longbow attacks. It's going to be 1 against Jules. It's an 11 to hit, that misses. 1 against, I'll say, Matthias. It's a 20 to hit, that will hit for 10 points of piercing damage. Ow. He'll make a concentration check, which he succeeds on. I don't know why that was a disadvantage. It would have been an 11, or at advantage, but it would have been an 11. And the last one will be against Mel. It's 24 to hit.
Oh, I was gonna say bring it, but ouch. Yeah,
5. Does bring it with 5 points of piercing damage against you.
Brought the heat. Ouch.
Yikes. Yeah. That's all they got. And then the one that's in the other tree, it's going to take attack against Hilda at disadvantage. It's a 12 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. It's going to take an attack against Jules. 17 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. And last attack against Matthias. 13 to hit. That misses. Wow, they can't hit anything. So they fire 3 arrows. All of them miss. That's the end of their turns. Mel.
So which one has been shooting Matthias? Is the one in the tree that's nearest us able to see him over the rock?
They can, yeah. He's got half cover from the rock. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look at him and go, do you want to make this a more even fight? Take that as a yes. I go over here and I'm going to yoink them out of the tree with lightning lure.
Yeah, they don't respond to your taunts as they continue
I was
to
talking
fire.
to Matthias.
Oh, you're talking to Matthias. I thought you were talking to the elf.
No, I'm talking to Matthias. Like, hey, do you want me to yeet him down here or no?
Then he goes, yeah, sure.
And then I'm gonna reverse yeet.
Reverse yeet. Okay.
That's a DC 16 strength.
The anti-eat. It's a 14. So they're fair.
Get down here.
5, 10, 15. Yoinked out of the tree. And then 8 points of lightning damage.
Yep. And I'm also going to shiv him. I'm going to shiv him with my bonus action.
Okay.
Which I will roll to hit now. Because I know how to play this game. 13 plus... What's my to hit? Oh, plus 5 to hit? 18 to hit.
That will hit, yeah.
Great. Damage of a dagger. 5 piercing.
Okay, they're very not looking good.
Good.
Very, very. Okay.
I was just gnarling right in their face.
Okay, as they're yanked across the ground by this electrical cord of energy, and then
Taser whip.
then you stab them as they come to their feet in front of you. Jules, it is your turn. The elf in front of you no longer stunned or paralyzed.
Okay. Does she look really hurt?
She does look very
I feel
hurt.
like I've been wailing on her a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to hit with my spiritual weapon. The one in the tree. Or am I? 14?
14 misses. The one in the tree.
Alright, well, that sucks. I think I'm going to turn at the one that's in front of me. I'm going to raise my mace, so I'm not going to hit her, and I just want to look at her and say, call them off, or you lose your head.
Make an intimidation check.
Yes.
Give you advantage.
Oh, good.
Because you guys have been wailing on her.
16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
I think her immediate response is her hand comes off of the short sword that she was beginning to draw, and she does seem like she is backing off a little bit, but it'll take her turn for her to give her any orders or anything to the others.
I'm not gonna swing.
Okay. Hilda's turn.
Hilda is going to stand up in the cart. So what is she? A halfling? Yikes. So she has 12 and a half feet left.
Yeah.
How far away is Matthias? This will affect things. She can get to him, right? She can get to him.
She can get to him.
Okay, she goes over to him and is like, oh, you look pretty bad, but you're doing great. Pat, pat, bell ring. And casts Cure Wounds.
Okay.
What is that? Is that 2d8? What is that? 1d8.
She's casting it at first level? Yeah, 1d8.
Yeah, we'll do first level.
Plus her
8 plus spellcasting, which is plus 3. So 11 healing to him.
Okay. That's 11. Nice. Okay.
Silver bell.
Yeah, I think he gives a smile as like some of the arrow puncture wounds are healing up, and he just goes, "Thank you."
You got it.
Okay. End of Hilda's turn. Matthias. I think reads the room as far as what Jules is doing over there. I think he comes over next to Mel and kind of readies his attack with the vampiric touch. Just kind of stands for this dark kind of coalescence of the dark energy around his hand. And he just says, I really don't want to do this, but and that's going to end his turn. Chad?
Gonna hold my action to stab at this elf in front of me if they attack any of us. And the weasel is also going to hold its action to nom. I think it's like perched on the head with like jaws of him right over the ear.
Yeah, it's just been munching on her ear. Okay, so that brings it to the elves' turns, and as the other three begin to ready they draw their next round of their next volley of strikes. The elf in front of you, Jules, holds up her hand in a defensive posture, and she gives out a whistle, and the other three elves immediately stand down. So we will come out of initiative.
I'm gonna leave my dagger in the elves' side, just in case. Just like holding it. It's like, hey, what's up?
Okay. And she speaks, and kind of that cocky demeanor that she had last time is dropping, and she just says, all right, okay, so I don't want anyone to die here. Let's just let's talk for a second.
Go on then.
We're only trying to protect our land. It would be unwise for you to step forward or to move any further into the woods.
And why is that?
Well, it's sacred land to us, and it is very well protected by the guardians that walk it.
I feel like maybe you should have led with that.
Well, most people, when they hear sacred lands, they assume treasure and riches and would go anyway.
I think I just kind of like pull out my holy symbol, like.
Sure, that many of them also wear symbols of many different faiths, but the ruse that we put on is necessary for our survival of our tribe.
Well, we certainly don't come with any ill intent. We are following a vision quest that is leading us this way into these lands.
Okay. Where does your vision lead you? What does it show you?
Let me reread my notes so I can tell her the image. Some ruins within this forest, a tree with crimson red leaves, a silver trunk with metallic sheen. There's something embedded in the trunk that we are seeking.
I think you see her posture sort of shift and a little like less defensive at this point, and she looks to some of the others who give like kind of some knowing glances to each other.
I take it that sounds familiar.
She nods slowly and says, "I'm familiar with the tree that you speak of. It's because of what happened to this tree that we behave as we do towards outsiders. Many seasons before my time, there was another. We used to allow pilgrims from far off to walk these lands and to break bread with us, to walk amongst our tribes. And one such figure defiled these lands. A portion of them attempted to destroy this tree, and the actions that he took corrupted the lands. The earth itself lashed out at him, and well, it's because of that and the corruption that has spread that we have barred any outsiders from traveling and walking these woods ever since.
I can understand that.
Well, any of these three will tell you I'm not much of one for magic, but I imagine that our quest it may help with that. Going to remove the axe head in the tree, and maybe the earth will like it again?
I think as you mentioned the axe head and that look of familiarity, and I think any distrust that she might have, it kind of begins to fade, and she says, "You really have seen this place then? You know of the crystal axe embedded in the trunk of the great tree?"
Yep, and I'll just kind of point in whichever direction the magic tingle is directing.
Okay. She nods, and the other three, I think, are you still holding the knife to the one on the ground, or are you guys backing down a little bit?
I'll take the dagger out of her ribs.
The other three get up and they go to meet with their kind of leader there, the one that you're speaking with, and one of them, as the one that you're speaking to, begins to contemplate this and is thinking. One of the younger elves, though I think the one that you were probably attacking on the ground, comes limping up. She says, "We can't let them in. Grandmother would not approve of this." And she, the one you're speaking to, puts a hand on her shoulder and says, "This could fix. We could reclaim the land. The worst thing that happens is they go in and they die, and then we've done our job anyway." The others kind of nod at that, and she looks back to you and she says, "You must know that traveling this way is dangerous. The forest will attack you It will lash out at you. It will attempt to keep you from reaching your destination.
Well, we have to
We-
try.
We won't stop you from traveling that way. We will not let you enter our lands lest they become corrupted as these have. But if you truly mean to enter the ruins and rid this plague, then I will not stop you in this suicidal mission of yours.
Well, pardon me, but nothing great was ever accomplished without sacrifice or risk.
Let the risk be on you then. Clearly we cannot stop you, but we will make sure that you do not attempt to enter or travel any further than the destination that you have described to us. Understood?
Understood.
She steps aside with the others and sort of points the way, the direction that you're familiar with, and she says, "Follow that path. When the briars begin to grow thick, you'll know you're close."
A very specific.
Well, I mean, based on, my dreams, I imagine it's going to be very obvious that they are, very thick briars.
Well, if you want to lead the way, Jed, I'm sure we are happy to follow.
I may want to take a little bit of a breather in the cart, but I'll point the way.
I think that sounds fair.
Okay. The elves let you pass without issue. They keep an eye on you, and I think as you maybe move off a bit of a distance, I imagine you're trying to get a little bit of distance from them and where you fought them. I think you generally kind of get the impression that you're being watched for a lot of your continued travel here. And every so often you'll hear kind of the rustling of branches and leaves off in the distance, but they don't seem to intervene with your progress any further. You want to stop and take a little bit of a short rest before you
Yes, short rest and pulling out 2 more animals from the bag of tricks.
Oh geez, please just be 2 more weasels.
What is it?
2 giant elks.
Yes!
God.
Yes!
Oh God.
This is the best day!
Well,
Someday
hold
we're
on.
going to get 3 of those.
I've got to introduce a lot more to this encounter now.
What encounter?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. So yeah, you guys can stop and take a little bit of short rest and take a breather for a second. Only hit dice that you need to.
Yes, how much is Song of Rest?
It's a D6?
D6.
Yeah, I think it's just an additional D6.
I closed our character sheet. We stopped combat. It is, in fact, a D6, which I will roll now. It's 1.
Okay. You all get 1 additional hit point on top of your any other healing you get.
Back up to full.
Oh, I need her sheet so I can heal her. Oh. Oh well, that can be fixed later. I think Hilda leveled up to 6, but her class stuff wasn't leveled up, so she doesn't actually have the level 6 abilities in there.
Yeah, just leave her if Morgan put in the level up, then just leave what she's at for now, and
Yeah,
because I don't know if she was going to take what she was taking her next level in.
I don't know. That's why I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. Sorry, I'm getting a couple things ready here.
No, I'm just binding my wounds and ripping the arrows out of my body and cussing a lot.
Well,
I feel so bad for you and your sacred freaking woods.
I'm glad they at least listen to reason.
Eventually.
Well, sometimes it takes a show of force, but we don't have to kill everyone we come across.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have to. They were perfectly nice.
Sorry, I'm doing Matthias's hit points right now. I think he's patching up some wounds and stuff too. He says, I didn't think they were so bad.
They shot you like 4 times.
You don't think anyone is so bad?
I mean, lots of people have shot at me. If I was mad at everyone that ever shot at me, and I'd be mad at a lot of people.
Well, that's fair.
And what is so wrong with that?
Well, you can't go through life being so angry. It's not good for you.
Some people deserve to have your anger directed at them. Some people deserve consequences.
Sure, but not everyone.
I never said everyone.
When I meet someone that deserves me to be angry at them, then I'll be angry at them.
I feel like we agree, but the conversation feels like we don't agree, but... Bandage's self-tighter. And Theory is just floating around Mel's head like, please calm down. Just like making cute little shapes like, I'm a butterfly. Look at the cute butterfly. Calm down.
Mom, please don't be mad.
I hear the agitation in your voice, Mom.
Yeah, he's like, our cat starts to like climb up like right in your face. Like, why are you angry? Why are you angry? Why are you angry? What's wrong?
Yeah, basically turns into flowers, just starts dancing. It's like, look.
Okay, so I think I've got all of that. Hit points back. Okay. So you take a short rest. Take about an hour to manage your wounds and eat a snack, whatever you might need to do. And as you're resting, I think you do notice, and I think Jules, you have the highest passive perception out of the group.
Probably.
So I think it hits you first, but it's very quiet here, and it's getting quieter as you're going. Occasionally, you hear like a chirp or a single bird flutter in the throughout, like in the boughs of the trees, but there's not nearly as much animal life as you would expect in this area. And the 2 giant elks that you currently have with you, along with your 2 draft horses, are starting to feel like they get a little agitated, and they won't like sit still. They keep kind of clomping at the ground and moving, and they just generally seem distressed about something.
Yeah,
So
there's definitely something off about this place. Do you hear that?
What?
Exactly.
Chad wakes up from his nap. What's going on?
Well, nothing. That's kind of the problem. Now, the horses are very upset, and there's no noise. There's no animals, anything this way.
I'm gonna pull down the eyes of the eagle and just kind of scan the distant forest for any creeping shadows, shapes, threatening things that are being very still and creepy.
okay, do those give you the advantage on investigation or perception?
Perception.
Perception. Yeah, go ahead and make
And
a
I can
perception.
see really far.
Yeah, make a perception check with advantage.
Okay, that's a 13.
Okay. All right, yeah. With 13, as you're scanning the forest, I don't think you notice anything up. I mean, it's very still. Occasionally, a slight breeze will move through the trees, and you see some of the branches shift and sway as you'd expect. And you are beginning to notice, like, there are some thick briars that are starting to grow kind of like at the base of trees, and around here you're noticing them on the ground. It's like getting a little more overgrown, less traveled, more inhospitable. Not to the point where Chad is noticing, like recognizing it yet from his visions, but it's definitely you're noticing the forest itself is seeming to get a little more dangerous.
Takes off glasses. Yeah, the mean forest full of mean elves is getting meaner.
That's to be expected. I guess keep your ears out for movement, because If there are no animals, something that's out there moving is probably mean. So
Sounds delayed. Pulls out crossbow.
Perfect.
It's a gun crossbow.
What kind of mods has she put on it?
Well, guns are illegal, so it's a crossbow. Just kidding, but it will be eventually.
That's why you wanted all that black powder.
Yes, exactly. It's 100% why.
For the secret guns. I'm gonna try to, I guess, get the horses to go. Come on, horsies.
All right. You do stir them forward. You guys get back on the wagon and begin and continue to follow the path for the next about 45 minutes to an hour. You reach a point, though, shortly after that, where whatever path might have been here before, whatever road you might be following, is so overgrown and the briars are growing so thick that you are struggling to find a way to get the cart through here. And it's getting to the point where you don't think you think you're gonna have to leave it behind or risk getting it stuck permanently.
I think we're gonna have to walk from here.
Well, if there aren't any noises in the forest, then nothing will come and hurt the horses, right?
I'm pretty sure like the trees or something will eat them or whatever.
Well, guess we're gonna have to take that risk.
Okay, well, if we must leave the cart behind, Mel's going to like probably ask for Jules' help and just like with her axe like shear off a significant portion of like the axle of the cart and just pocket it so that, like the cart can't be driven away without this piece.
Well, should we move the cart in front of the horses? You know, put the cart before the horse and all that?
Hit.
Well, as in like after we move it wherever we're gonna leave it, Mel will do that and just take this piece of it.
Just take a piece off of it.
Yeah, so it can't be stolen.
Very smart.
I tend to be that. Thank you. That's nice to hear, though.
Well,
Well, don't lose it.
Am I smart?
The piece of the cart.
Oh, right, of course, yes.
I guess everyone onto one of the two elks and let's go.
I don't have to walk this time.
I get to ride one? Scrambles up.
Let's go.
Attempts to scramble up. Has a 6 strength.
Just boost people up onto the elks.
Thank you.
Okay. So you ride on the elves through the elks through the
They are really
briars.
friendly, huh?
That's an encounter of a different kind. Whew.
I'm gonna have who's currently gonna steer the elks forward. I'm gonna say there is gonna be sort of an animal handling check if you're trying to get them to go through this like thick again these thick briars that are coming up to avoid them taking too much damage.
Mm-hmm.
Lila's gonna go hang out on with Jules on Jules's elk.
Okay, so Jules is gonna steer one then.
Yep.
All right.
And what is Hilda's wisdom? Because both you and I have a flat 10.
Hers is, I think, also a 10. Nope, it's an 8.
Okay.
It's your
Well-
elk, Chadrick.
Yep. So I think Chad is going to steer the one with him and Mel. And where is Matthias ending up? Probably on the one with the halfling.
Yeah, probably on the one with the halfling.
Wait, what?
So if it'll probably be
He's with
Matthias, Hilda, and Chad on one, and Jules and Mel on the other. Is that where we're going here?
I was with Hilda.
Yeah,
Oh, you're with Hilda.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jules, Hilda, Matthias on one,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chad and Mel on the other. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and the weasel will be with Chad and Mel.
Theory is practicing his weasel shapes.
Oh, in theory, okay. I'll get you all on this board here.
Theory can float, so he doesn't add any weight if you're gonna
No.
try and be tricky.
No, I'm not considering that anyway. But I will have Chad and Jules will make an animal handling check.
As Theory is practicing his weasel shapes, he's going to perch on top of Chad's head and make what he attempts as weasel noises and inspire Chad.
Okay. inspired wheels and noises, and you get advantage on, or you can take advantage on this check if you want to.
Yeah, you have 5 times you can take advantage on an ability check in the next hour.
You can do that three times a day.
Yeah, he only gets 3 uses of his salve, which can do those 3 things. So he used resilience and he used inspiration, and only has 1 use left.
1 use left. Okay.
Those were pretty good. That's a 19.
19. Okay. And then Jules?
23.
23. Perfect. So I think you're navigating these elks through here without any issue, avoiding any briar patches or any dangers that would harm them. So I would say they don't take any damage from the travel. You reach a point where it is growing very thick, and this is very similar to the vision that the weapon has been giving you, Chad. And you can see these thick patches of these briars growing and kind of weaving in with the underbrush, choking out much of the life in this portion of the forest. Everything is kind of brown and gray and dead, and there's these patches of ice across the ground. And as you reach this point, passive perceptions, Jules, and then I'll say Mel because of your goggles.
Oh wow! I was like, me?
Yeah. Well, your goggles give me advantage. I'll give you the
nice.
bonus on that.
Okay.
Assuming you're keeping them on.
Yeah.
You begin to notice ahead of you there is some like shaking in the briars up there.
Jules, do you see that?
I do.
Pointed out to Chad, who's driving. There's some whoosha whoosha up there.
Oh, is that the technical term for
Yes,
it?
it's the flattening sort of, so it's like whoosha whoosha.
I'm gonna get off the elk.
Okay. You step off the elk.
Yep. And kind of make my way across the ice and see if I can get a better look at what's happening over there.
Okay.
I see any like creature or anything?
As you step forward towards the briars, you can see something is moving around in this patch here, and as you get closer, it stops. And then you see stepping out from the briars ahead of you, you see a tiny little humanoid, standing only about maybe a foot tall. It has like a tree-like appearance to it. These long limbs that almost look like they're made out of like twigs and branches, and little like thorns growing off of their back and off of their head, and these long kind of pointed ears, and it stares at you as it's moving in this alien kind of posture along one of the little branches that's sticking out, and it just stares up at you silently.
Hilda, with the helm of comprehend languages upon herself, is going to go, "Oh, hello."
Okay, so she says hello, casting the comprehend languages on her, and the creature goes and looks over towards her, and you hear this, Jules. What you hear is this clicking noise that emanates from it, like the snapping of multiple like dried twigs as it opens its mouth, and you see these jagged, like sharp thorn-like teeth in its mouth as well, and then it doesn't really like speak as much as it just opens, and you just hear these clicking and snapping noises coming out from emanating from somewhere inside of it. Hilda hears the creature say, the best that she can interpret from it, says, intruders, flesh, food, attack, and you begin to hear this echoing click from other areas of the briar patch, and you also see, as this is happening, and these other like rustling in the undergrowth and through these briars, 2 larger forms loom up out of the briars as well. These look like humans, but there's a smell that comes from them, and as you're looking at them, you see they appear to be deceased. They look like corpses. But winding around them, you see these thorn vines that seem to be like pulling on the bodies and causing them to animate and move.
Hilda takes the helmet off and goes, well, that didn't work like I thought it would.
I think in the front, Jules just goes, oh, I hate children.
I need you all to roll initiative.
Big yikes. Big yikes. That's a big yikes.
Mean
Do we
trees.
have a battle map for
Yes.
tokens?
Perfect.
So, who wants an elk and who wants the weasel?
I don't want any of those things because I'm driving Hilda.
Sure.
I'll do one of the elks.
Okay, I'll do an elk and the weasel then.
Weasel's easy, so that shouldn't be too bad.
Hilda again with the 20 initiative.
And again, they'll just go in your turns, so we don't worry about rolling initiative for them. I will roll for Matthias.
I need another monitor so I can see the map and all these sheets.
Oh boy, I gotta zoom out.
And the...
Oh, yikes, yikes,
Oh,
yikes.
wait. Did I just drop another one on the field? No, I didn't.
I hate this forest.
Oh
Says
my
no.
gosh, the elks understand language?
What?
Giant elk understands common, elvish, and sylvan, but can't speak them.
Yeah,
Of
giant
course
elks are very
We
intelligent.
can talk to them?
creatures.
There are
Oh.
for real friends.
They understand the languages. They have a 7 intelligence.
That's
Intelligent for
plenty
an elk.
They're
Plenty
smarter than
for,
Chad.
For an animal.
Oh my gosh, they're smarter
They
than
are
Chad.
smarter than Chad.
Oh, I didn't know they could understand us. Oh, this changes everything.
All right.
They already know algebra.
And the children.
Talk to them.
Yuck. Please don't call them children.
The children of the forest.
Yuck. Children of the thorn.
They are children of the briar.
I didn't. But like corn and thorn, they rhyme.
Yeah, they do,
Yes.
but that's not what they are.
That would be
Okay,
so
we'll call them
scary.
children of the thorn. Fine.
Yeah.
That would be so spooky.
I refuse to watch it.
Okay. Descending order. Whew, lots of things on this trap. Did I roll for everyone? I did not roll for Matthias. Damn it.
We need him in there. He's my backup healer.
You rolled 21. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, shit. I'm going first. Okay. First up will be Matthias, who's on the back of the elk. I think he's going to stay there for now. He is going to... he sees the little... or one of the zombie dudes that's coming towards you. The tendril puppet. And he's going to fire some Eldritch Blasts at them. That'll be 26 to hit, 23 to hit. Both will hit
Oh dang, I'm liking this guy more and more. He's so helpful.
for 21 points of force damage. Make sure they're not... Okay. They're not. I will also mention one thing for you guys on this map to be aware of. This is all considered difficult terrain that you are on right now, even the parts that don't have briars. So bear that in mind as far as your movement speed goes. But he takes 21 points. You can choose to move at a normal movement speed. However, you will take damage.
Got
for
it.
doing so.
So who did he just shoot?
He shot the zombie bro here.
Okay. Zombro, got it.
Yeah. The tendril puppet. That'll be Hilda's turn then.
Hilda is going to urge their elk forward. Like
Okay.
just doing a mad leap over Jules, I guess. To
Okay.
line up like here-ish. Oh no, I tried to grab everyone at once. It didn't work.
That's fine.
Come here.
Let's just, so yeah, 30 feet. So yeah, he can definitely go there.
Come on. And she's going to Burning Hands. Just directly, show to others. Like just this way. Just a 15-foot cone this way. She can at least get 2 of them.
All right.
Wow. It's a DC 14 deck save.
And Jules, we're just, for the sake of this, you are underneath the elk's legs
Cool.
right now, which it's huge. So
I love that.
Good. All right. So dexterity saving throw for Child of Briar. That's going to be a success for him with a
Gross.
2. And for the tendril puppet, that'll be dexterity natural 20.
How dare they?
21. So they both take half damage. However, as the fire hits them, you hear them shriek even louder. They're going to take full damage.
Perfect.
From that, it appears they are vulnerable to fire.
Also, the fire ignites any flammable objects in the area.
Yeah, I'm going to have to find some sort of fire thing
The elves
right
are
now.
going to be happy with us.
It's corrupted briars anyway.
I think the hope
here's
is
what
that it'll be going away soon anyway, so.
Smokey the Bear comes running out.
Only you can prevent.
So I'm just going to like circle that area right here is now on fire.
Perfect. That's
Okay.
what she does. Actually, she goes, She rings some bells, and it's oddly inspiring. To Jules, who is beneath the elk. So there we go.
Okay. Mel, is your turn.
Oh boy!
Do you want to, if you want to choose, we can put Jules between you and Hilda so you have a second to think about your turn before you take it. But that is up to you.
Yeah. Can you just drop me behind Chad? I'm not
Okay.
driving this elk anyway.
I'll drop you behind Chad then. All right. So, Jules, what you want to do?
Okay, so I have the elk. I guess he's gonna try to stomp on the little dude with his hooves.
Okay.
Go, elk, go. 15?
15 hits.
Dog, he does so much damage. These hooves. $22 bludgeoning damage.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right. So as the little, as the little prior dude begins to shriek as the fire, the elk just stomps on the ground, and you hear some crunching and snapping. It's still up, but it is pretty badly hurt now.
Great. Okay, and then for me, so these the Zombros, are they undead? Do I know?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Well, 12.
12. I'll give you this. They do not appear to be undead. They appear to be animated by the plants that are animated by the plants that are growing through them.
Okay. In that, like, turn undead probably wouldn't do anything to
Yeah, it doesn't. You would get a turn undead would not
That
do
makes
anything
sense.
to them.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Then I'm going to do a. I don't have any fire stuff. I hate this. I'll do a sacred flame on this tree person over here and see what happens to it.
Can you ping that one again? Okay, so dexterity saving throw.
Yes.
It's another natural 20, 21.
I rolled double 8s on the
Okay.
damage, so 16.
But he's going to succeed on the saving
Yeah,
throw.
I know, I'm very sad about that specifically.
I'm sorry. So yeah, he avoids the plant seems to move a lot faster than you would anticipate, and avoids the strike as the sacred flame comes crashing down. You don't have the thing where it does like half damage on a fail. That it's still no damage for
On a cantrip? No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Okay. Okay. Anything with your bonus action? Or is that it?
I'm just gonna move out from under the elk and kind of go
Okay.
towards this guy.
Okay, moving
Interpose
towards him.
myself in between the ones on that side and my friends.
Okay. Chad, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, Jules is right where the elk was going to go, so changing and having the elk charge at this little guy over here is going to charge at it and attempt the ram attack. And if it moves at least 20 feet straight towards it on the same turn, hits with the, well, I guess first see if it hits it with the ram attack.
Okay, roll your attack.
Oh, yeah, that's 25 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
So that's going to do 2d6. I'm going to do the ram damage first.
Ram damage.
That's almost max damage. 15 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
And then the charge, if it hits it with the ram attack, it takes an extra 2d6 for 6 more bludgeoning. And if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 14 strength save or be knocked prone.
Okay. You said strength save?
Yep.
And that's an 18, so he stays up.
Okay. Well, Chad.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I rolled for the wrong thing.
Oh.
We'll check. That would have been 15 minus 2. So that'd be, actually would have been a 13.
Okay. So it is prone.
Okay.
And Chad has his pike out and is going to attempt to do a stab on this now prone creature.
All right.
So that's advantage, right?
Yes.
Because I should have the reach even though I'm up on top of the giant elk.
Yeah,
So.
I'll say you do. Yeah, go ahead and make your attack with advantage. I'm gonna move you guys over.
That is 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Well, not great damage. That's only 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
But another stab. Oh, that's even more to hit.
Okay.
Yeah, 18 plus, that's a 24 to hit, so slightly better damage for 8 piercing this time.
Okay. 8 piercing damage. All right. That's 8.
And not going to do anything for my bonus action yet. So that is Chad's turn. Oh, the weasel is going to hop off from the elk using its momentum to go and try and land on this now prone creature. So it makes his little bite attack with advantage.
Okay.
Not great. That's only a 12.
That will miss. So the weasel jumps and tries to bite it. The little brider kind of rolls to the side, avoiding. They're about the same size, so it's a pretty epic battle for the two of them.
Oh boy. How many hit points does the weasel have?
Like 2,
1.
maybe?
I think it's 1 hit point.
Do
Yeah.
we love this weasel?
I mean, it can come back.
Yeah,
Because if it's Mel's turn, I don't know if it's Mel's turn. I just got
it is
excited.
Mel's turn now.
Great. So while they were galloping on this giant elk, Mel's like, "This is not as fun as I thought it was," and she's mixing this stuff together, like pulling stuff out of her satchel, and like pouring it in like a little package in her hand, and then like forcing it into a vial, and then dropping this thing that starts like fizzing and sparking. She goes, "Here goes nothing. I've never tried this before," and then just downs it and starts crying as her face turns red, and she's like, "Maybe this was a bad idea." And then she breathes fire
Oh,
in a
okay.
15-foot cone.
Okay, is this a dragon fire?
Yeah, we're doing dragon breath. She casts dragon breath.
Okay,
That's not
you were
my
doing it from so from here. Yeah, you can definitely get both of them from you.
All right, Weasel. DC 16 deck save.
Okay, I think the weasel's gonna die no matter what.
Yeah, no, he's dead.
Yeah, but I will go and make it for the little briar dude.
It also
Um,
rolled a natural 1 for its deck save.
Yeah, so extra toasty. Dexterity save. That's a 14, so I think he fails.
He sure does. DC was 16.
Okay, so he's gonna take 26 points of fire damage
Sweet.
from that, and
I imagine it's super not dignified. Mel's just like, like crying from the spiciness and like grabs Chad's shoulder, just like basically throws up fire.
yeah, he is incinerated by the fire. Does this have the same effect of setting everything in the area around on fire?
It doesn't say so in the spell, but I imagine that would make sense.
Yeah, I'll say it won't be as much. We'll say it's kind of closer like a flash fire. It's enough heat to just like immediately erupt, but it'll turn everything in this kind of like say like this patch here. It's currently burning. Okay. That ends Mel's turn.
Excuse me, I have a bonus action.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I'm gonna have Theory go over here with this crew, this very, very busy crew, and he's gonna spit acid upon the guy that Matthias shot.
Okay.
Theoretically, he'll spit on him, but we don't know. 16 to hit?
That'll hit.
Yay! 8 acid damage.
All right. 8 points of acid damage.
He looks like a squirt bottle as he just squirts acid.
The acid hits and it begins to burn away at the vines. You see the vines kind of reacting and peeling off and like pulling away from the body. Not looking great. However, before the children go, the 2 that are still surviving, I think maybe... I don't think any of you see this happen, but from the audience perspective, this patch of ice that the elk that Mel and Chad are currently standing on, a section of it sort of like peels off and up, and this thin like sheet of translucent ice kind of floats in the air and kind of pulls around Mel before wrapping around her. It is going to make an attack against you.
That's a big yikes!
So it's going to make 3 tendril attacks at you with advantage because it was hidden.
Yikes, yeah! That's fine!
It's a 16 to hit.
That is exactly my armor class.
11 to hit.
Miss.
22 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Okay. 2 hits, so you are engulfed by the thing.
Oh, no!
You also take a total of 27 points of bludgeoning damage.
So what's the DC I have to hit for my concentration check?
They were separate, so it's going to be 10 each.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
15 for the first.
That succeeds.
15 for the second. Oh, 17 for both, whatever.
All right. So since you are both wrap around you and you are engulfed by the creature, you maintain concentration and it constricts around you since it is engulfing you. You're going to take on top of that.
Oh, dear me. Oh, I missed the damage. I'm sorry. Can you tell me one more time how much damage I took?
27 total.
Yikes.
2 +
It may
5.
not matter if I maintain concentration or not.
Well, we're going to see here. Plus an additional... Eight. Wish they had a macro for this on the sheet here. Wow, I rolled really bad on a 3d8 there.
Good.
So it's the first half of it is you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage and then 4 points of acid damage.
I'm unconscious?
You're unconscious, another 20 points. The creature wraps around Mel, and with this ambush strike that it gets, it engulfs her, and you see Mel's body go limp as it completely sort of envelops her form. That'll end the Frostveil's turn. Children of the Briar, one is dead, one is in the flames here. I'm going to have you roll another d6 because it is in the fire.
Oh, okay.
For it.
1.
Okay, so it takes 2 points of fire damage. And it's going to move out of it. It kind of scampers over to this section of briars. I think it's going to go for Jules. Jules, it is going to make... Let's see. Makes 2 claw attacks at you.
Okay.
It's a 13 to hit and a 20 to hit.
20 hits.
Okay, so it's 9 points of piercing damage. It does not hit with both, so it does not grapple you, so you don't have to deal with any of that. The other one also scampers 5, 10, 15, 20 over here, and it is going to make another 2 strikes against you.
Okay.
15.
Nope.
8.
Nope.
Both of those miss you. So that's going to be the end of their turns, as they're just fruitlessly trying to scrape at your armor. That's all 3 of their turns. Geez, all the bad guys got to go in a row. The tendril puppet, the one that's still on the fire here, roll another d6 for that one.
Okay. 2.
Okay, it takes 4 points of fire damage. And it is going to, you see it look up towards Hilda and over to Hilda, the elk, and Matthias. And I guess Theory might get caught in this too. And you see it begin to sort of like at the end of its hands, this ball begins to form of like thorns and briars, which it hurls in the direction of the 4 of them, and as it gets just above them, it explodes in this hail of thorns, which scatters down on top all of them. So it's going to make it makes an attack against the original target, which I'm going to say the target of this is going to be, we'll say the elk, and then Hilda and Matthias in theory are going to get caught in it. So. Attack roll. It's a 19 against the elk. I think that hits.
Yeah.
So take 18 points of piercing damage, and I need Hilda, Matthias, and Theory to all make dexterity saving throws.
Working on it. Theory got an 18.
Succeeds.
Hilda only gets a 10. Sorry, Morgan.
Okay, 10 fails. So it's going to be 7 points of piercing damage to her, and then 3 points to Matthias and Theory.
Okay. Oh, he's tougher than I thought. No.
All right. That'll end its turn. The one other in front of you, Jules, is going to make a it's just going to stab at you. You see this like spear of thorns form out of its hand, which it thrusts in your direction for an attack. It's a natural 1, so it misses. And that is going to end this turn. Matthias' turn. It's going to do some yikes. I think it's going to turn its attention. I think he thinks Jules can take care of herself. He's going to jump off the elk, and he's going to make some Eldritch Blast shots at the thing that's around Mel.
Oh, my bro! I was so mean to him, and yet.
Yeah, right. And yeah, so he's going to do 1, 17, 2, 22. Something too. So yeah, he's not aware of this, and we're gonna deal with this in a second. So he hits the creature for a total of 24 points of damage. You take half of that, Mel.
Great, cool. How many failed death saves is that?
You failed 2 death saving throws.
Cool. It's pace all over again, ladies and gentlemen.
But he's going to use his bonus action at the end of his turn to throw some healing at you.
Oh.
Because whoopsie there. Wait, so you take, we're not gonna deal damage to you. So yeah, 2d6 your direction, 7 points of healing towards you.
I'm awake and very upset.
Yeah, so you're awake. Death saves reset. Good. Hilda's turn.
Well, I was too busy dying. What's Hilda gonna do? Well. So this thing that's around Mel is ice, or
it looks like ice. Yeah, it just looks like this big like sheet of ice and frost that has sort of wrapped its way around you.
Okay, well, we can't do that yet. Okay. She's gonna cast Major Image
Okay.
on the elk that Chad and Mel are on. Make it look like it's on fire. I guess. I don't know. She's basically trying to drop the frost thing off of the elk so it's easier to deal with. Get it away from Chad and them. Does that make sense?
Sure. Okay.
Maybe I should do fear instead. Would that make more sense?
Does fear specify?
Projects a phantasmal image of a creature's worst fears.
Okay. Does it specify a certain level of intelligence or humanoids or anything like that?
Each creature in a 30-foot cone.
Okay. Then yeah, she could do it. She
Like
could
each
attempt it.
creature, or can they pick?
Each creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on wisdom save. Okay, well, I'm so sorry for just derailing everything right now. You know what? I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just gonna. Hilda's just gonna panic, and she's just gonna hang out on the back of her elk and do nothing.
Okay.
She doesn't know what to do. Seeing that Matthias trying to beat the thing up was a bad idea, and she can't affect it without hurting Mel, she doesn't know what to do. She's gonna do nothing.
Okay. Jules, it is your turn.
Okay, can I see Mel from where I am?
You can see parts of her, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna cast a 3rd level healing word
Okay.
for my bonus action.
Roll that healing.
It's a lot. And plus 21
All right.
hit points
Thank you. Bless you.
on that. No, that's a different spell.
And then you regain what, 4 from that? Or 5?
It is, 2 plus the spell's level, so I regain 5.
Nice.
Boop, boop. That's a cool ability. So that's my bonus action, and then for my action, I'm gonna do a cantrip. I'm gonna do Word of Radiance.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Because there's 3 of them around me, so they all make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. So 2 of the little dudes. That'll be a 12 and an 8.
Fail.
And then for the tendril puppet, 17.
That's a success.
Succeeds.
But the other 2 get 8 radiant damage
Okay.
to both of them.
That's not a number.
I mean, it is.
No, the hardy har. Okay. Yeah, so blast of radiant energy consuming the 3 of them. The tendril puppet seems unaffected, but the 2 little briar dudes, briar children, are knocked back by the blast of radiant flame. That's your action. Bonus action. I assume you're staying where you're at.
Yep.
Okay. Chad, it is your turn.
Okay. Is the ice sheet in any position where the Elkoron could kick it with its hoofsies?
No, the elk cannot attack it from where it's at.
So, we're gonna have the elk do something in a minute, but to start, Chad seeing all this happen right next to him, like I imagine Mel was like one arm even around his waist or something.
Yeah, I think you just begin to hear she's talking, then all of a sudden, as she is currently angle. Yeah.
And then a lot of swearing.
Stowing the pike, drawing out his scimitar. Bonus action is going to cast Searing Smite,
Okay.
which, because it's a racial trait, should actually be at 2nd level. So, yes, that's already plugged in on the sheet. So let me roll to attack.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit the ice thingy?
It just hits.
Okay, so it is going to take, let me roll the scimitar damage. 6 slashing plus that is 8 fire. Hold on, I have an extra thingy.
Save me, Barry.
I cause an extra. No, hold on. Is it I cause extra? No, it's just if I get something. Yeah. So. Yes, no extra damage. Sorry, been a couple weeks, but Chad is now on fire, and
Okay. Okay, so slashing damage, what was the total for that?
the 6 slashing.
Okay. 6
and
slashing.
The icing needs to make a con save, or it is on fire.
Okay, so we're gonna do this in a couple steps here. So the slashing damage goes only to the creature. As one of the conditions of it, that it only affects the frost veil. It needs to make a con save or take 12 points of fire damage.
Well, it takes the 8.
Okay, it takes the 8.
And if it
So
fails the con save, it takes the extra damage and is on fire.
okay, so it takes 4, and Mel, you take 4. It is vulnerable to fire damage, so it ends up taking 8. Is how I'm going to do the math there, rather than having it take 16 and having both of them take 8.
Yep.
So where are you? It's 8 for fire, and then a con save. That's a 16.
So that succeeds. Yeah.
So say the creature, the spell ends.
Yep. So it's not going to stay on fire, basically.
Okay.
So that was just the first attack.
Okay.
Chad is still on fire until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Which they don't harm me or my possessions. Spread light, blah, 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 blah. If it hits me, it's going to take some damage, but now I'm just going to try and attack it again with the scimitar.
Yeah.
21 to hit.
That'll hit.
For no, not that would be too much. 8 slashing damage.
8 slashing damage. All right. It is still holding on to Mel, but you're able to kind of surgically carve away at the creature without dealing much damage to Mel in the process.
Yeah. And that is, let's see, holding on to Mel with the other arm, and the elk now.
Now, I forgot one other thing. When you hit it, there is a splash of acid that is going to affect you. So you are within 5 feet of it hitting it. That's going to be 1 for each attack. It's going to be 12 points of acid damage against you.
Okay. This is but a scratch. And this circle over here is still actively on fire.
It's still actively on fire, yeah.
Well, I think the elk is going to scooch past its brother and come and ram this other little Children of the Briar over there.
Okay, I'm going to move all 4 of you at once because I have the ability to do that. So I'm just going to move all right there.
Yep, so it comes over for the ram attack. That's... Let me get the sheet back up. Dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
So this is the base ram attack. Not as good as the first time. That's 8 bludgeoning, but now making the charge bonus.
Okay.
For an extra 9 damage, and it needs to make a DC 14 strength save.
Strength save. That's a 9, so it is knocked prone.
Yep.
Okay. And I think that's it for you in the. Okay. All right. Mel, it is your turn. You are grappled right now. You are not, so you can see what's going on.
Okay.
And you just can't move currently. You are not
Okay.
restrained, though.
Okay. Cool. That's not bad. Well, first of all, Theory's gonna like panic and come over here and be like, "Mom,
Okay.
and he's gonna try and spit acid at it.
Okay.
Oh, if I can access his sheet, where did it go? Okay, here it is. 1 second, I can click it. Okay, 24 to hit. Look at that angry little squiggle.
That'll hit. Do damage.
I will do damage to it. 7 acid.
Okay, it takes 3 and you take 3.
I love it.
I'll say it takes 4 and you take 3.
Oh, thanks. Oh, Theory, you're so cute. You're trying so hard, but ouch. And then Mel, so she can like move and cast and stuff.
You can't move. You can't.
Or, well,
cast
not move, but like she could like move her arms and.
Yeah.
But she can't move. Is there any like? Is there like any caveat? Like I can try and make an athletics check to get out, or
you can. You are considered grappled. You can make a. You can make a check to try to escape.
Is it athletics or?
Let's see. Do you see? Yeah, you could do strength or athletics or acrobatics. I'd say.
I'm gonna try acrobatics. Is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna try that.
Go for it.
Oh no, that's only a 12.
That'll fail.
I thought so.
Yeah. So use your action to try to break free of the grapple. Unsuccessfully, the creature remains wrapped around you. That's the end of your turn, I believe.
If I can be extra dramatic, Mel's like trying to scramble her way out, and it keeps like grabbing her back, and she's looking more and more panicked, and like then like part of her is just like reaching for Chad and like getting yanked back in.
Sure.
I mean, you are still right next to him. So.
It's like trying to grab him, like freaking get me out, and then just like getting yoinked.
At the end of your turn, as the creature continues to tighten its grip on you and you feel that acid burning into you, you take another 11 points of bludgeoning damage plus 13 points of acid damage.
I am unconscious again.
Okay. That will bring it to the creature's turn. The Frostveil. It cannot make attacks while it is grappling you, so that is the end of its turn. It's just going to stay there. That is the children's turns. They're going to continue to try to swarm around Jules. 2 claw attacks. 20 and 21.
Those both hit.
Both hit. That's a total of 9 points of piercing damage from that one. And it does grapple you. Is currently just like clinging on to the side of you. And the other one is going to make 2 attacks. It's an 8 and a 20.
20 hits.
For another 5 points of piercing, it is not able to grapple you. That's going to end their turns. When the creature ends its turn and it's grappled onto you, you take an additional 1d4 piercing damage. You take another 3 points of piercing damage from the little guy currently kind of hugging you.
Okay.
Violently. Tendril Puppet's turn is going to make another stab. I think it's gonna try to do its hurl thorn ability, or the one at distance is gonna take another d6 fire damage. I'll just roll for it. That'll be 4 points of fire damage to it. And it's gonna do its hurl thorns at the elk again. It's a 16 to hit the elk. 7 piercing, and I need Hilda to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. She's pretty good at dex. If I could roll, it's 8. I'm so sorry, Morgan.
She takes 4 points of piercing damage as well.
Gosh dang it.
The other one takes a stab at Jules. It's a natural 20 for 13 points of piercing damage. It's Matthias's turn. He's like, oh shit. So I think he's gonna run behind you, Jules. Actually, from where he's at first, I think he uses another bonus action towards Mel, to spend, I guess, another 2. Yeah, he's gonna spend another 2 of those. Do 2d6 healing towards you. That's 6 points of healing, Mel. So you're back conscious.
I'm awake again. This
Uh,
is great. Great.
and he's going to use a spell slot to cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level on Jules. Seeing that you're kind of in a bad spot too. That is 18 points of healing damage. That's all he's got. Hilda, is your turn.
Okay. How does the frost veil look? Like, what's its story?
It looks like it's breaking apart in areas from some of the fire damage it's taken and from the slashing. It is sort of deteriorating. It doesn't really look like a sentient creature. It's very reactive, and it doesn't like. It's not like. It doesn't look hurt. It just looks damaged.
It doesn't look hurt.
Well, I say hurt, like it's not wheezing. I mean, it doesn't like.
Oh, right.
It doesn't like understand pain, but it does look like it is falling apart.
I think Hilda is going to cast Shatter, just off to the side a little bit to hopefully not hit Chad in theory, but knowing she'll hit Mel. But
I'd say it's going to hit Mel. It's going to hit the elk too.
That's fine. At this point, Hilda has been sitting there staring for 6 seconds, and it's like, I have to do something.
Okay.
She's going to cast Shatter at 3rd level.
Okay. So it'll be.
Click it. Hold on. Why doesn't it give me the description?
I don't
the description.
know. So it's a Constitution save.
Yeah, and if it's a creature's made of inorganic material, it has disadvantage.
Interesting. It is a plant, so I think it's organic material. It will have do a normal roll. So that'll be a Constitution save. It's a 5.
The elk rolled a 10.
Okay, so they both fail. So here's the way it'll work. Rather than having you make a save to additional damage, like because it's just going to be split between you and the creature, Mel. So the elk is going to take the full 11 points of thunder damage. Oh yeah, she rolled really bad on that.
I just looked. I'm so upset.
So the elk takes 11 points of damage. The frost veil will take 6 points. Mel, you will take 5.
I'm still conscious.
You are
at 1 hit point. Amazing.
That it for Hilda's turn.
That didn't work at all. She's going to inspire. She's going to use her last inspiration to inspire Chad and just like frantically ring bells and be like, "Save her!"
Shoot her. Okay. Jules, is your turn. What you got?
The elk is gonna stomp on one of the things. Can it do an attack against the one that's grappling me?
There's nothing that says it can't.
Okay.
So I will say it can. It just if it goes bad, if it's a very bad roll, there may be some consequences there.
I'll take it. That's a 23.
That'll hit.
Okay. With its hoofs.
With expert precision.
25 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, okay, so that one's dead. So what happens is the elk just kind of looks over, it's like, let me get that for you. And just like swats the thing and just like in an instant, with one hoof, just stomps this creature into the ground.
Yeah, he's a good elk friend. I'm gonna do... I'm gonna use action to do another Word of Radiance.
Okay.
On the ones that are left.
Con saves for the two of them. That'll succeed. It's a 19 and a 16.
Okay, well those both succeed.
They both make it. So neither one of them take any damage.
That's cool. I'm gonna use my bonus action to... I'll do gosh, I'm gonna run out of spells. So I'm gonna do another 2nd level healing word on Mel.
On Mel? Okay.
Oh my gosh, thank you. This is the worst day ever.
15.
15. Okay.
And I heal.
That is so awesome. Getting to just heal every time you hit
well,
somebody
it's not
else.
much, but like the
It
higher
helps.
the higher level spell, the more you heal. So
Yeah.
that's it for me.
Okay. Chad, it's your turn.
All right, going to start with a bonus action rally to give Mel some 10 HP.
Thank you.
Oh, that's much better than the last time. You get the full 11.
Blessed be the day.
And then gonna try and do some scimitar stuff to the ice thingy.
Okay.
Do it.
That's I'm gonna use my legend point on that one.
You also
Okay.
are inspired?
That was a natural 1.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So yeah. Roll again.
That's a 21
21 will hit.
for 6 slashing.
Okay.
Now second attack. Oh, so close. That's 19 plus stuff.
It hits either way.
Yep. And I am going to do a distracting strike for this one. So going to do an extra D8 of damage. So let me
Okay.
roll the dice. Pretty good. 14 slashing damage. And the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than me has advantage. The attack is made before the start of my next turn. And at this point, the flames have worn off. They didn't do anything for my attacks this turn.
Okay. It is just barely holding on.
I'm going to go ahead and click it so you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, and that rolled the same thing on the D8 as I did.
Nice.
So
All right. Mel, it is your turn. You feel this thing's grip.
actually, I'm going to action surge. I'm angry at this thing for nearly murdering my friend.
Oh yeah, because it was the last combat that you used your action surge. Yeah, go for it.
So, first attack, natural 20.
That'll hit.
Too bad I can't. I'm not a paladin, so I can't use my smites that way. But that is 12 slashing.
Yeah, he's dead. You slash away, and the last tendrils of this thing are cut, and it sort of just floats away from Mel. It's caught up in some of the breeze and just dissolves into nothing. And the creature is gone.
Okay, gonna take for my extra attack, pull out one of my daggers, and I think throw it at the plant puppet
Okay.
because that thorn thing it's been throwing is pretty nasty.
Yeah,
23 to hit,
that'll hit.
and that was just a dagger. So let's see, 6 piercing.
And that'll kill that one. You throw the dagger, and it sinks into the head of this creature. And as it sinks into it, the damage to the body of the human that these vines are inhabiting doesn't really seem to have any effect. But you think you cut some sort of vine or something important that was growing through its head, and with that severed, you see the other vines retract and fall apart, and the body just falls once again lifeless to the ground. Awesome.
No more dying on me. Not
yeah.
today.
Mel's just like shaking and crying.
Which it is Mel's turn now.
What is alive?
Just the one little briar dude on the ground
Okay,
there.
the dude in the fire is dead.
Oh no, he's still there. Yeah.
He hasn't taken fire damage in like 2 rounds. Can I
No,
roll
he
that?
took it last time.
Oh, he did?
I've been rolling it.
Well, I didn't roll it. Okay, I was busy
Yeah.
dying. Okay, Mel's just actually pretty shook. She's shooketh forsooth. Oh man, I already had one character not do anything. Yeah. Oh well. I feel like that's in character. She almost died 3
Okay.
times. She's gonna not do anything. She's just gonna look at Chad like he says no more dying on me, and she just is crying and shaking and just sits down on the oak and is
Okay.
traumatized.
All right. Last little briar dude. I don't think he feels in a good place here with the 2 giant elks and stuff around. So I think he disengages and tries to run away. He can't get very far. He's got tiny legs. But 5, 10, 15, 20, just scuttling through the briars and trying to run. The other tendril thing isn't as intelligent. You can roll the d6 on it if you want to.
I would love to affect something. 2.
All right, so it's 4 points of damage to him. And that thing is just going to keep doing what it's been doing. It's going to throw some more thorns at the elk. That's only a 9 to hit, though. But it is going to still explode, so I need Hilda, Matthias are both going to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. Oh, my word. Hilda fails.
Okay. She takes 4 points. Matthias takes 2.
I'm so sorry, Morgan.
All right. Matthias's turn. He's going to turn towards the tendril puppet over there, and he's going to fire 2 eldritch blasts off towards it. 21, 26 for 19 points of force damage. It has 15 hit points left. That thing is blasted to pieces and then it crumbles into flames as it falls into this flaming briar patch. Hilda's turn.
Well, Mel's okay now, so that's nice. That guy's running away. I don't like that very much. What does she have at a distance? Magic missile.
Okay.
She's gonna magic missile it at... How hurt does it look?
This one wasn't as hurt as the others. So not quite bloodied.
Well, we'll do second level. How many do I want to roll them? So 3 glowing darts at a higher level. We do 1 more dart. So I do 4.
Yeah. 4d4 plus 4.
Shake. Okay. That's fine. 10 total.
All right. 10 points damage. As the 4 bolts streak out, and then you hear them hitting the creature somewhere in the briars, and it lets out little shrieks as it does, continuing this clicking noise. Jules, what do you do?
I'm gonna cast a guiding bolt at the one that's running away.
Okay. First level?
Yeah.
Okay. Fire away.
25.
That'll hit.
Um, 16 radiant damage.
It had 15 hit points left. So the guiding bolt also streaks in the same place that you saw the magic missiles hit, and as it blasts through the briars, you see this small creature the little legs are standing there, but the top half of it is just blasted away, and the legs collapse to the ground dramatically, and that will end their turns, and I believe end the combat. And as the fire begins to die out over next to the elk here, and you're all kind of licking your wounds, you have a moment to breathe and look around. Doesn't seem like anything else is coming towards you. Seems like you're safe currently. And that's where we're going to go ahead and take a break for a little bit. So pretty intense first half here. A lot of combat. So everybody stand, stretch your legs, get some water, and we'll be back for round 2 here in a minute. So stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, Internet. We are coming back from our break for the second half of our Saturday night's D&D extravaganza. The party has just finished fighting off a bunch of plant monsters. Mel came very close to dying a couple of times, but you have successfully defeated them. I think the fire goes out, the woods and everything is kind of saturated enough that it doesn't burn for very long. And currently there are no immediate threats around you. What would you like to do?
Mel, given a little bit of time to just like kind of be panicked, like pulls herself together and acts like nothing happened, but like is a little bit blush and like her eyes are a little bit swollen. She was clearly crying, but she's just like, I'm fine.
Okay. I think Matthias is looking people over and looks at the elk and is like, that was pretty scary.
It is almost like the elves warned us it would be spicy going this way.
Yeah. Is everyone okay?
I think so. At least all in one piece.
It's good.
I do not know if here is a good spot for it, but probably catching our breaths before going any farther would be a good idea.
I think too. I want to check something. Yeah, I think Hilda. Oh God, Hilda's voice.
It's German? I remember that once, otherwise I've just been talking.
Hilda suggests and does point out that she has. I'm just going to do this in third person because I have no reference in my mind for her voice right now. But I can make another hut. Nothing can get us when we're in there.
I am extremely for that idea.
How long have we been going since we woke up and got attacked?
Well, very long. I mean, it's been. I would say it's like mid-afternoon right now. So
this would be a short rest hut, not a long rest hut.
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
you could. Yeah, I mean, if you did a long rest hut, you'd be long resting for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Be like short rest into a long rest.
Yeah. Good short rest hut.
I just want to make sure this one isn't a ritual. Tiny hut is.
Yep.
Yeah, tiny hut is a ritual.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or elks are going to have to be outside.
Yeah, the elks will have to stay outside, so we'll see if they survive.
Keep a lookout.
Okay, so yeah, Hilda springs the hut into existence, kind of matching with the greens and browns of the surrounding environment. You all duck inside of there. Sans, your two elk buddies, and you can take a short rest, regain whatever it is you might regain on that short rest.
Song of Rest adds 3.
3? Okay. Alrighty. Thighs did not take much.
For the record, Mel's alchemical doohickey is still set to the night goggles.
Yeah, I would have had to change it this morning.
Yep. So. Okay.
And the temporary HP from rally disappear on the short rest?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Okay. Bummer. And Mel is very quiet during the short rest, like while patching these new wounds. She's not complaining or cussing out anybody. She's just very, very, very quiet.
Okay. So you rest for the next hour, regaining spells, abilities, hit points, patching yourself up, resting a bit. You don't hear the sounds of elks being murdered outside the hut, so that's good. I think yeah, so I think Matthias is kind of sitting there. He's like flipping cards through his over and like kind of doing the like his own kind of tarot reading as he goes, and is shuffling them back together and sticks them back in his pocket and says, so as far as hanging out, do you guys go? I'm having a lot of fun, and I want to keep doing this. I want to make sure, again, you guys still want me here for this. I don't know. I just stayed. I feel like y'all have had a lot of kind of bad luck since I've been hanging out with you, and I don't know if I'm messing up your mojo here at all.
Oh, we're all still alive, so
You have
Not
pulled
that
your
bad.
weight.
Good. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Not a lot of people like to hang out with me for very long. I don't. I guess people tend to get a little bit irritated with my with me just in general. So I just want to just check in, just a quick pulse.
I don't find you irritating.
All right. Cool.
And our luck has been more or less the same since you arrived.
Oh, I don't know whether that's good. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Well, we bring a lot of it on ourselves, so. Oh,
I am
alright.
I am really interested to see what this thing is, that whatever we find in here, especially if I was led to you guys and helped you get into the fort, and then you find this thing and it's drawing you somewhere else. I mean, that feels pretty important to me. Like maybe that's the sort of I don't know, the fate that I've been sort of drawn towards to help you all with this, and maybe there's something bigger at play, and feel pretty good about it.
Speaking of, has the magical tingling gotten any stronger, or has it just been a constant direction the whole time, but not like a sense of magnitude or strength?
I don't think there's been like a magnitude increase. It's mostly just been just the general direction and the occasional images projected to you by the blade or the handle.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the very least, the tree hasn't moved. So we're still going in the right direction.
Well, that's good, because at this point, I mean, any of these trees could move and it wouldn't be that surprised, but
Exactly.
maybe it won't attack us when we get there.
We can only hope. I'm kind of out of my fire trick for the day.
Yeah, I've got one thing I could do as far as fire goes. I don't have a lot if we're going to need to be burning stuff. So, but it didn't seem like fire did the trick back there, and it'd be good, I think, to do more of that.
Yeah, I don't have much of that to speak of.
I could do a little more, but that's all.
Does anyone need any more healing? I've got a little bit left in the tank still.
I'm okay.
I'm all right. Thanks to you and Jules.
We have your back.
Yeah, that was good tag team work there. With the heal buddies, and goes for like
Give
a
him the
fist.
knuckles, yeah.
Yeah, knuckles with you. Yeah.
And Chad, thank you for cutting me out of there.
I mean, what else was I going to do? Otherwise, he would have been literal dead weight on me. And kind of gives her a playful shove.
That is true. Can't have that.
We won't let anything eat you.
Thanks.
Today, anyway.
I feel like I've earned that. If I had a bit more time, I could probably whip up some sort of firebomb or whatever we could drop. We do have the gunpowder that we left with the cart.
We did, yes.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You're going to go back to a smoking crater.
Oh, God.
All of the barrels do have written on them magically, do not open, and then if any of the lids are opened, they scream. So there's that.
Horses can't read, though.
I know.
But they also can't cast fire.
Yeah, so they can't start fires.
I was just more worried about them, like, eating it.
We have to keep feeding our horses with black powder.
Oh, God, no. They get addicted. Oh, no. I don't want to think about that anymore. Oh. Are you alright, though? Mel patched up and everything.
Yes, I'm hale and hardy.
Well, see, we get a move on.
Okie dokie.
All right, bundle up, everyone. Come on.
So you all exit the sphere, and as Hilda steps out of it, it dissolves away behind her. And yeah, everything looks much the same as it was out here. You have a couple of burnt patches. The elks have been sort of licking their wounds, but aren't looking the best.
They've
Looking a little.
benefited from short rest healing.
Listen, for the sake of the nerfing these elves somewhat, I'm just going to say a blanket no to the creatures coming out of here and taking short rest healing. There has to be some limitation that I set on this. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to
Mine has 17 hit
thwart
points
me.
left.
Yeah.
I think mine has twice as much.
Wow, well.
Yeah. Well, that's 17 hit points you don't have to take.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's an AoE.
That's true.
All right. Chop, chop, let's go.
All right. So you mount the elks again. I keep saying elves, and that's just
Welcome back to Cyberscape
a
with
different
our little
sort of
pocket
game.
elves.
Yeah.
I forgot about them.
Yeah, the Keeblers. Anyway, so let's go and make animal handling checks for those of you navigating the
Chad, you still have advantage if you want.
elks.
I thought that only lasted an hour.
Yeah, but has it been an hour?
Yeah, you guys do a
Short
short
rest.
rest.
Ah, heck, you're right. We did
Yeah.
just do that thing.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But I think as they are getting up, like presumably back into the original formation, Chad is like very firmly taking both Mel's arms and wrapping them around his midsection. It's just like, nope, no falling off, no dying, not allowed.
You got it.
Matthias will, seeing the condition of the elk that you're on, Jules, he'll cast a guidance on you. How about that?
Okay.
To help you out.
On me?
Yeah. Because yours is the one that's very near death.
Okay.
I got a 13 animal
Okay.
handling.
31.
Holy shit. Do you have proficiency in animal handling?
Yes, I rolled
Oh.
a 19 plus, check my math, I rolled a 19 plus 8 plus 4.
Yeah.
For the guidance.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. Chad, do you want my guidance?
Your elk just sort of hovers over the briars.
I'm so good, I teach him how to talk.
Yeah. It's. I mean, you develop an instinctive bond with this elk that you have not had with any other sentient creature before. There's like the universe falls away, and it's just the two of you through an endless stream of consciousness, and you develop a very close bond with this elk.
Like, you need
Chad-
a name.
Huh?
As I'm telling the elk that it needs a name.
Yeah. Chad, you navigate the elk the best you can. It takes 3 points of damage coming through the briars, but it's otherwise all right. You do a decent job. As you are travel for the next hour and a half through the briars, you don't hear any other creatures coming out at you. Occasionally there'd be like a snapping of a branch in the distance, and it spooks you enough. You very quickly focus on that area, but you don't see any other creatures. What you do begin to notice though are some constructed structures that you are being to pass, like the remnants of ruined like buildings, walls, paved streets, things like that these branches and the natural environment has sort of grown through and destroyed and pushed away. But you do see the sort of vestiges of it, and you're beginning to come upon the outskirts of what I think most of you and any of you that have a map would know, the Whispering Ruins, which is a large area, and you are coming into a part of it. But this area is still overgrown with the briars and these thick thorns. I I think you reach a point where you can see a wall kind of encroaching in the distance through the trees, and as you approach, you kind of like stand in maybe disbelief as this ruined wall that kind of grow in front of you blocks a lot of your path, but has been filled in the gaps with this thick wall of briars that just stretches off to either distance, disappearing amongst the trees and the other foliage. But it seems that these thorns have now kind of filled in, forming this natural barrier between you and what Chad knows is your destination.
Well, we're close. Can't let these briars get in our way. And I think, unless someone has an idea, I'm just gonna start chopping.
I can't really do a controlled burn. It would be messy. I could help chop.
Now. I mean, I've got axes. I've got 2 hand axes. Got the scimitar. I think Chad's gonna stick with the great sword.
I get Chad to hand me an axe. I'll help him.
Okay.
I have a mace and a spear. I don't feel like those are great for chopping.
I'm not actually going to help chop because my strength is so little.
Oh.
Sure. Okay, so the two of you begin to bushwhack your way through the briars. Both of you just make me I'll just go with athletics checks.
Sure.
I'll keep an eye out with my goggles on while they're making all this noise and hacking through briars and stuff.
19.
Okay, make a perception check with advantage.
Sweet.
22.
19 and 22. Nice.
I rolled 2 3s.
Jeez.
Do we not gain experience for failures in this game?
Not in this game.
Probably
You guys would be
leveled up
level
like
20
5
by
times
now.
at this point,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't notice anything around you as the army approaches. The two of you, Jules and Chad, start chopping away at this wall in front of you, and it takes a little bit. It's pretty thick. It's probably about 5 feet thick of loosely packed thorns and briars in front of you,
Like a
and
wall of thorns.
yeah, essentially it is a wall of thorns that you are cutting through, and it takes some time. But over the course of the next 20 minutes, and you can feel the sweat pulling under your armor, and your arms growing tired just from the perpetual hacking at the plants in front of you. Eventually, I think you are able to carve out, and you see the light on the other side and coming through to something else. You're able to open up a large enough hole for the 5 of you to, or I guess 5 of you to get through. If you're trying to find, yeah, I was gonna say, if you're trying to find a way for the elks to get through, it's going to be a little more difficult. The wall is, since we've established it in the meta of this game that these elks have some mad hops, they could attempt to jump over it. The wall's about 20 feet tall.
I mean, if there are some ruined buildings near the wall, they can elk-core up.
I mean, it's going to be hard because of the trees around are forming sort of a ceiling above you. They're going to have to get through some obstacles to jump over, but they could attempt to make the jump.
So I think we will all dismount to make it easier for them.
Okay, but you guys want to go through first and then call the elks over?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. As you push through the briars here, you don't take any damage. You've made a sufficiently wide enough hole, and you come through into a pretty stunning sight as this section of ruined buildings and city is largely untouched here. There's still vines and you see more of the briars growing through them, the same thorns growing around them, but the buildings in front of you are mostly intact. You see somewhere between 1 to 2 story, not like tall, impressive structures, simple wooden building with rounded edges. Any wooden or metal facades to them have long since eroded or rusted away. There's a small sort of trickle of water that runs through the street ahead of you as 2 buildings flank you on either side. The street or the stream runs against some of the walls about 50 feet ahead before seeming to fall through some sort of crevice or pitfall down into darkness below. The streets, as I said, are overgrown with the vines and the briars, and there are some plants coming up through it. And it has a distinctive sort of elven architecture to it. Those of you that have spent any time in elven cities. The streets are quiet. There's currently nothing is around you. Currently, you don't see any immediate signs of movement. And the street ahead of you, with this river running down it, looks like it goes about 100 feet down before it hits about a T intersection. It intersects with another couple of buildings and branches off to either side. So you can begin, and Chad still has his general direction that you can follow. You begin to follow the city streets. For the elks to follow, I'm going to need them both to make athletics checks or strength checks to clear the wall.
23. It's a +4.
21.
Oh, okay. I was about to look up how much damage they take, but that's enough. So both of the elks.
You cannot stop these elks, Sean.
As much as I want to. Yeah, both of the elks. I think you give a call out, Chad. As you're the one that has summoned them, and there is a silence, and you hear a and then this like crashing and breaking of branches, and 2 dark shapes come over the top and land on either side of you along the city street. You see some of the ground cracks and breaks. The elks kind of skid to a halt, trying to maintain any sort of balance on now the paved stone. But both of them land with grace and poise, and are not dead yet. Yes, Mel.
Before we get too much farther, I went unconscious 3 times.
Oh, you did. Was it 3 times or 2 times? I think it was 2 times.
2 times, because I went to 1 hit point the other time.
Yes, you did. So we do need to have you make some lingering injury rolls. So let's go ahead and do that before we get any further. You want to make a Constitution saving throw for me? We'll do the first one.
Oh, natural 20 for the first one.
Okay.
And then it's Constitution, right? So 15.
15. Okay, you're fine.
Good job, Mel.
Yeah, you don't take any additional injuries.
Just for the sake of honesty.
Yeah. No, I think you are good. I'll pull up the rules again just to make sure. I actually think. Anyway, talk amongst yourself. Decide what you want to do next, or if there's any conversation you want to have while I'm checking this really quick.
Well, we should probably make our way through the city. We probably shouldn't, plow through structures. We have these nice streets for us. We can follow them as best we can until we hit another obstacle, and then we'll start breaking things.
Sounds good to me.
And do you still have this sense of where we need to go?
Yep. And presumably the tree isn't, some massive tree that we can already see and just eyeball and head towards. It's still not visual yet.
It's not within your sight. Yeah. And actually, Mel, I need you to roll one more time because your second one would be at disadvantage.
Okay. That's a 6.
Okay, that one will fail. So roll D8 for me.
That's a D10. Here we go. 7.
Why is it always the 7 and 8 where that makes me roll? Not have to roll again. Roll a D100.
Oh boy.
This would have already faded by this point, but I just want to know what it was.
47.
Okay, well, maybe it works. So the second one, and after the fight, you would have had a brief period of time where you wouldn't have been able to speak normally. But we can.
I feel like I
roll
wrote
for
like that
as well.
fine.
Yeah.
She was silent for like most of the short rest.
Yeah. So yeah, that works. You do have 1 level of injury at this point, though.
Okay, got it.
Okay. All right. So, do you mount back up on the elks?
Assuming the streets are wide enough.
Yeah. I'll say you can't necessarily go.
Both elks abreast, but
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, you could go one at a time. Follow the leader style. What did I just do? Oh, that's what I did. Jeez. Sorry, I was messing around with the map here and I just fucked some shit up. So give me a second. There. Token layer. Okay. Okie dokie.
So do you think the elves will move back in here once we do some landscaping?
Hopefully.
Don't know why not. If it is so out of their control, this corruption, then if somehow pulling this thorn out of the tree fixes it, why not?
They also said, it was many seasons ago, but these buildings seem far more worn down than just a few seasons. So maybe this is more ancient.
It's possible. Or there was some sort of fight.
Well, they did call them ruins, so.
Clearly, I didn't listen to my lessons on the Whispering Ruins. Sorry, Hilda.
She wags her finger.
They're literally called ruins, Chad.
May I actually try and recall anything that I know about the Whispering Ruins?
Sure. Make a history check. How many-
Hilda would also like to do this.
Okay.
We're both proficient in history, is why I ask.
Yeah. Sure. I'll allow that, even though our player's not here.
Oh, okay. I don't have to do it for her.
No, that's fine. We'll go with that.
Because he's also proficient.
Well, Mel got a natural 20, so
Okay.
28.
We'll just go with that then. Let me, before I forget, because I need to fix this. How many hit points does the elk that you were riding on, Chad, have?
I'm trying to remember because I was messing with its token. I want to say it's probably around like 30 now or something.
Okay. I'll go ahead.
Maybe as low as 27.
All right. I'll just go and do 30 for now. Anyway, I accidentally deleted it, so I wanted to get that fixed. So, as far as the Whispering Ruins go, I need to pull up. So, the exact history of it, you know that these ruins, specifically the translation from the tongue of Ishfornen of Fort de Mere, the original name of this place before it fell into ruin was the Arium Citadel. This has information has been recovered and passed down through some elven history and folklore. It is an ancient city that was once an elven capital, but existed even before the elves did in this region. The tribe that lived here, the clan of elves that lives here, was during the Age of Heroes, was eventually kind of driven out and mostly eradicated by raiders and bandits that lived in the area, and that's when it sort of fell into its current state the small tribe that remains that you have now encountered tend to it, but they don't actually inhabit it and don't maintain its like former history and glory. With the history check that you made with the National 20, which I assume is a 20 million, somewhere around there.
28, thank you.
28. Yeah. You would know that based on some of the recent I don't think that anybody recently would have looked at it, but from some of the historical documents they pulled up, some of the research that was done into that history of before it was called the Arium Citadel and before the elves lived in it. It's believed that it was originally an awakened city, which existed before the sundering and the banishment of the gods thousands and thousands of years ago. And when the Awakened fell and were split into the mortal races, the elves took inhabitants of the city and used its technology for themselves. So that is I think the history that you are aware of.
Now that I think about it, yeah, this city is extremely old, older than elven history in the area.
But aren't elves like super old?
Yes, this city is older even than them. It lies in ruins now, but it used to be quite something.
Well, then let's go get this axe head and see if we can't clean up a bit.
Probably. From what I understand, this may not restore its glory, but it will probably help the forest overall.
Onward, elk. Yep.
All right. As you wind through the city streets, following Chad's unerring draw in the direction of the second half of this axe, you come around a kind of a curving city street where a few of the buildings have actually collapsed and broken away, and you can see signs of some massive destruction in this area. Buildings that looks like they were long destroyed by some sort of impact, something that hit them, and you can see like large boulders in the area that were maybe thrown or catapulted into this city. As you come around the bend, you can see a larger sort of courtyard, and beyond that, it looks like maybe the remains and the long destroyed remains of an estate or a fortification of sorts. There is a wall that encircles most of it, but is broken away in one very large spot. Beyond that wall, you can see trees growing up through, and more signs of vegetation, vines, things growing around that. Chad, your spidey sense is drawing you sort of directly in that direction, towards this grotto or this orchard.
Well, I think it's going to be in there.
Okay. I, for one, am as ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this flea is going to try to eat us, is why I say that.
Well, I think I should be the only one to approach it to start. See if I can't just get the axe head out.
I'll be close behind.
Are you going to walk up right now, or we're going to think about it? Just a question.
Well, we still can't see the tree, so we still got
Right.
a little bit of time.
Cool.
Once we get there, if it comes to life and is an evil tree and tries to eat us, I'll rush in, grab the axe, see if that fixes things.
Okay.
Okay. Pull this thing up.
Go ahead.
Nope. Would
I was gonna say that as we're walking, Mel's gonna cast Sanctuary into one of her defaced coins and put it in Chad's pocket just in case, and tell him that it's there. Not just like reverse pickpocket him, like, hey, just in case things get really bad, here's this coin. This going to protect you. The magic will cancel out if you show any sort of aggression, but just in case, a little GTFO coin, just in case. As we say in Glambala, GTFO.
Okay. As you are approaching the this grove beyond this wall, I think from your height, as you're coming up on it, you can see about 20 or 30 feet in. The trees that are growing in there are mostly growing along the perimeter, along the walls themselves. But in front of them and up on like a slight raise and separate from most of the other foliage and everything else around, Chad, you see the same tree that you've seen in your vision. It has this almost this metallic sheen to its bark. It grows at a strange kind of curving angle. The leaves that grow off of it are this beautiful like reddish and orange hue, and just kind of sway slightly in the breeze. And despite any not really having any direct light source here, this overcast gloom of the timber still very much present. It almost seems to reflect light and kind of shimmers a bit around it, and there's clearly something sort of magnetic about its presence. And from this distance, so you're still a pretty far ways off, you can see something embedded about halfway up the tree itself. Something that also seems to shine and reflect. However,
go ahead and pull out the handle.
Mm-hmm. And I think the handle is almost sort of like humming in your grasp. However, as you are approaching Jules, you hear something. This thump, 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 thump. And the sound of something very large, very steady, almost sounds like footfalls, approaching closer and closer.
Something's coming. Something very big.
I'm going to try to hide. So will Hilda.
Do you guys want to get off the elks then and go try to hide?
Yes.
Sure.
At least that's what we two are going to do. I don't know what Jules wants to do. But...
Chad's going to stay on his elk because it's faster, but I think is motioning for the others to get off so they can hide.
Yeah. Mel starts climbing down, then like climbs back up and like just pats Chad on the knee and is like, just like looks at him and just like, watching you. And then climbs down and goes and hides.
Okay. So those are gonna try to hide, make some stealth checks.
Okay.
Let's count that as Hilda and Mel.
Yeah. Okay. Woo! Mel got a natural 20. Hilda got a 19. Which is a total of 23 for Hilda and 25 for Mel.
Okay. And so Jules and Chad, you two are sort of riding up together.
Yeah, I don't hide very good.
Yeah, I didn't assume that either way you would. I think Matthias will go with the squishier ones and also try to hide. He's pretty okay at that too. Well, yeah, 14. It's not too bad. All right. So the three of you duck off, I think, to the other side of the wall as Chad and Jules are sort of riding in closer to this breach where you see this tree, and the rest of you kind of jump off of the elks and run off, kind of ducking around the side of the wall. Chad and Jules, you see in front of you, from beyond the tree, this beautiful tree of Chad's vision. Beyond that, amongst the rest of the grove, you see the treetops swaying and parting as something is making their way through. And finally, emerging from the tree line, you see another plant, which also appears to be tree adjacent, however, is walking on two large wooden legs, has two massive wooden like tree branch arms, and its bark is this black kind of sickly looking hue, and it seems to have a face to it. You see two knots kind of forming its eyes and this large hole seeming to form a mouth, but it looks sad and elongated, like it's weeping as the sap kind of pours down the sides of its face. I think you recognize this as a treant, though it appears corrupted as it walks out of the grove and interposes itself in the gap, this hole in the wall here, and it appears to sort of block off this passage as it just stays there, I guess, looking in your direction. The two of you not hiding, as you are both majestically riding on your massive elks. Do you approach?
Yep.
Okay. As the two of you ride up in the elk, you see the tree kind of shift and creak, and you hear the slow kind of like wail come from it. Again, this sad sound, and the tree behind it on the hill also begins to kind of shift and move the branches. It doesn't, it stays rooted where it's at, but the branches and the leaves begin to swirl around it. And as the two of you approach, it takes the treant takes one lumbering step forward and begins to head you off with sort of an aggressive posture. And well, I'll leave it to you guys. We can roll for initiative, or we can call it there. We're right at 8:00.
You should probably call it. Mostly because Morgan might be here next week.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Morgan here. All right. I'll go and leave you with this. I'll put you guys at the battle map so you can see what you are facing here.
Yeah. Hikes.
Oh dear.
And that will be where we pick up next week.
Is that nice tree token the nice tree?
It's the other tree.
So it's a nice tree.
Nope, it's not.
Oh.
It's got a red ring around it, so.
It's all
Yeah.
swaying and stuff.
Mm.
Yikes.
All right.
Is with me, thank you.
So we'll go ahead and call our session there. Good game, everyone. You guys want to go do the XP stuff, since we got a couple extra minutes from?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just do this. I don't know if we've did this on stream last time, or if we've done it before.
I don't think so.
I'll go ahead and move us to some happier music. That's too happy.
I'm for it.
All right, fine. Okay, so those of you that haven't joined us before, haven't seen us do the experience, we're not doing the typical D&D experience. We're actually stealing this from Dungeon World or other Powered by the Apocalypse systems. So at the end of every session, you guys can answer some questions and mark some XP. So first question, did you overcome a challenging enemy or group of enemies?
Yep.
I'd say so. A couple times. Did you learn something new and interesting about the world or a member of your party?
We learned about the world and what's been happening here.
Yeah, you learned about the elves here. May have learned some things about Mel as far as the fight goes. Okay, so
It's
cool.
on a front.
Did you express a unique aspect of your class, race, or background? I think most of you probably did. And did you express your alignment, personality traits, ideals, or flaws in a way that complicate your characters' lives?
I'm still getting tripped up by that complicated your character's life bit.
Well, did you stick to your alignment even though it wasn't the easiest choice?
Yeah.
It's
actually-
like
did
it
you-
has caused you some like complications.
Yeah.
So no to that one.
Okay. So you mark 1 XP for each of those, and then if you feel like you resolved any bonds with another character, you can mark that as well. A lot of combat this session, so I don't know if any bonds would have been resolved.
Still gotta make a new one with Jules.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm very close to leveling up.
Yeah. How far off are you?
I'm 1 off.
Oh, 1 off?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess you guys will level up after, or you'll level up at least after the next fight. Cool. Did you level up, Mel? Or did you
I
just
finally
level
did.
up? Okay.
I'm behind, but I'm finally leveled up.
You're at 6 now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So make sure we're not getting too far away. Awesome. So yeah, we'll call it here. You can go ahead and level up your character if you did. You don't have to wait for a long rest. The only thing is if you're missing, you don't regain anything that you expend. But if you gain an additional spell slot or hit points or something like that, you can't add those on top.
Literally, the only thing I get of note is that I can now infuse 1 more item. So guess what, Chad? You get that AC buff next time.
Okay. Do you have to do that on a long rest, or is it?
Oh, you're right. Just kidding. I'll do that on a long rest. You don't have it right now, but
Okay.
you will.
You can do
tomorrow.
that next session. Yeah.
After this fight when we die.
We will see. Okay, so that's gonna be it for us. Tune in next Saturday for us to pick this up and see how our group fares against more plant monsters. So tune in tomorrow. You'll be hosted by us, but also on Encounter Roleplay. You can watch Savannah running her Apocalypse World game, Apocalypse When. That's at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Join us on Monday for Motley Mondays, where Savannah will be running a one-shot for, I guess, Alex and I. Unless we have anybody else join. Who
I think
will...
I think Morgan is going to be there for part of the time.
Okay, so
Maybe.
we're going to be there
We'll
for part of it. So we will be doing another adventure in the Forgotten Realms, doing some one-offs and fun stuff. So join us at... did we decide on... Do we have an official start time for that? Or we...
It was
I know last-
8.
8? Okay. Join us around 8.
If that changes, then we'll let you know.
And then on Tuesday, we have Master Pony at around 6 o'clock. Savannah will be continuing Divinity Original Sin 2. Wednesday, Lindsay will be playing some Bioshock Infinite at around 8:30 Eastern time. Thursday, we will have Craft Nights with Morgan, presumably, unless you hear otherwise. And then Fridays are open for other stuff. So we'll see you back here next Saturday. Check out all of our stuff below. Oh, giveaway. I did mention the giveaway, and
Yeah.
I feel terrible about that. So we've got a giveaway going on right now. We are giving away a copy of Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. We will we're going to be doing a drawing for that at the beginning of July, on July 6th, during this very game. In order to enter, go to our Twitter. There is a link there that you can follow. There's a bunch of ways to enter, but basically the only things you have to do is you have to be following us here on Twitch, and you have to retweet the original tweet. But just follow the link. It's pinned to our profile on Twitter, and just follow the steps, and you can enter and have a chance to win. If we hit 250 followers here on our Twitch channel,
We're very
We'll
close to.
we're very close. I think we're like 12 away last time I looked, unless we got any additional ones. But we will be also giving away a special like dice box, dice set. Has a couple of fun things. It's also themed. It's part of the Descent to Avernus event. So some cool stuff to go along with the module. And if we hit 300, what is it we're giving away at 300?
A set of minis.
Set of minis. Also,
It's one of the heroes or the icons of the realms. The Descendant to Avernus Icons of the Realms mini box. So it's got 4 minis in it.
yes.
That are thematically appropriate.
Yeah. So all that could be yours if you enter and get some friends to enter. So I think that's it. We will see you same time, or well, maybe a little bit earlier, around 3 o'clock Eastern time next Saturday to continue the adventure. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Night, Internet.
Internet.